bounce here at Optus Oval. A very, very important game, particularly as far as Carlton are concerned, languishing at the bottom of the ladder. McKernan taps it down. Ratton. Anderson grabs him. Rock will cops one high. He'll probably get a free kick here.
And it looks like Hume has got a job on Anthony Stevens. Paul Couch, welcome to the commentary.
Thanks, Jared. And Silvani is playing on Carey. A very big job today.
Well, Carey already way out at centre-half forward. Very, very mobile. Wayne Carey bends it back towards the half-forward line. Might be a free kick here. And the umpire said exactly that. And it looks like Darren Hume. It is Hume at half-back. He gives it off to Dean Rice, who'll kick to the outer side of the ground with a booming kick. He's looking for Whitnell, but, well, chipping in is Anthony Rock. Centre wing. Rock towards half forward, no mark. A quick hand pass comes out to Sexton. Sexton drives it out the centre wing, and again, poor disposal, lands in the hands of Rock. This is David King racing around centre wing, and he brings it in towards the half forward area. A good defensive play to punch it in front to Hume. Back it comes to Rice. Silvani dummies the hand pass, then chips it in short, finds Porter. Porter to Sexton. And they're just chipping it around the outer wing. This is Beaumont taking the mark on centre wing.
But they have maintained possession, Peter. And Paul, good to see Anthony Koutoufides lining up at full forward. He's been picked up by Pike. And John Blakey's got the job on Pearce. I know some commentators thought that perhaps Glenn Archer should go on him, but I wouldn't have thought he had the pace. And Blakey, a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, very good matchup. Blakey's got plenty of experience and is a very good player and has done the job over many years. But Koutoufides, a full forward, I watched him up against St Kilda and he did struggle there. That Carlton can get the ball down to him, and Pike, who has played well on him before, is a very good player also and done some great jobs over the last 2 years at North Melbourne.
Well, we've got one very happy commentator here in Gerard Healy. He's been advocating Koutoufides going to full forward for about 2.5 years, I think it is, Couchy.
Evan Hewitt at centre-half back on Lance Whitnell. As Brown bursts from the pack, kicks the ball long down towards Koutoufides, but this ball's going over the top. It's bounced beautifully, but not beautifully enough. And just one behind Peter. Sorry to butt in.
The thing is that Carlton played well against West Coast last week, so it's going to be a real good match today. I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't mind playing Koutoufides and changing Porter in between full forward and ruck today, boys. And what's your thoughts on that, Jared?
Well, I think that at some stage Cooter is going to go onto the ball, and as a ruck, maybe against McKernan wouldn't be a bad option.
Just give him a run on the ball. He has struggled.
So I'd say a slight breeze going to left of screen, favouring the end that Carlton is kicking to. There's a quick kick around the corner. It's a snapper goal and has been missed by Ratton. And, well, he's disappointed with himself because that was a bit of a gimme. Actually, Paul, you'd say that those snaps on the run are probably a little bit easier than set shots.
Yeah, they are, but he's on his opposite foot here, Peter, and left foot, so it was a good quick snap.
So North drive it out here to the open spaces. There's Hamill, punched away there, and that is by Robert Scott. And Carlton will be hoping, Paul and Gerard, that Hamill goes that next step and becomes a top player.
Yeah, a young man that's come down from the capital, the ACT, and he's been in and out but shows plenty of potential. But Carlton would have to do well in this quarter, would be kicking with the assistance of at least a 4-goal breeze.
So at half-back we have David King, who's been a tremendous player for North. He's a top player in the old VFA, now the AFL.
It's an interesting ground to play on.
VFL, I should say. In
windy conditions, Couch, because once you get the ball inside the forward 50 at the Robert Heatley end, the wind is protected from that pretty high grandstand down there.
Yes, you're right, Jared. It is protected, but I think, you know, at this moment we're watching the play there, but all 36 players are up around in through the centre line there, and it's pretty crowded for Carlton to actually score a goal here. There's a lot of congestion in there, 50, and a lot of North players are dropping back into Carlton's 50-metre arc.
Now Whitnell in towards full forward, terrific lead by Pearce, and I think if Carlton are to have a good forward setup, Pearce has to be the man, the main focal point to get back in the square, Gerard, and lead out quickly, because he is a very quick player and a good kick.
Well, he's had so many knee problems in recent years since his classic year in 1995 when they went on and won the grand final, but he's a very good kick at goal, and this one is an exception. He's sprayed it to the left and just a behind. So inaccurate kicking costing Carlton early in the match.
Well, I maintain one thing. The one skill in football over the years that has not improved his kicking for goal from set shots, because in recent weeks and in recent years, in fact, the number of easy misses from that 30
have been terrible. And it's just a concentration thing. Head over the ball and kick through the ball.
So a short pass from fullback comes into Johnny Blakey, who's been in great form in recent weeks. Now Blakey, as we see this shot from half-back out towards Longmire. No mark. Stevens did it well. Off it comes to Bell. In towards the half-forward line. No mark. Carey and Silvani is going to be a fantastic contest. Rock off the ground. Out wide. Out on the full. Free kick to Carlton. But I think David Parkin really didn't have much option. He had to play his best defender on Carey.
Yes, I think... I think that Carey, Silvani and Carey is a great clash, but I thought Silvani might be a bit underdone, Peter, for this clash today.
Clappe to half forward, and he finds Whitnall.
Well, we saw North Melbourne in their forward line struggling to maintain possession because all their players are in defence.
So the kick deep into the forward line. Pike on Koutafidis, just gets his boot to it. Still in the field of play, though. This is Beaumont. Chip it in short, Hume. Oh, poor disposal.
Well, that's what's been letting Carlton down for some time, is field kicking. We're not used to seeing a Carlton side with such a lack of skill, but they have started well. They are winning their fair share of the footy, and up against a crowded North Melbourne defence, they've had some shots at goal, but once again, Peter, inaccurately.
Well, I saw them against Collingwood a couple of weeks ago, and their field kicking was the worst exhibition of field kicking I've ever seen. I reckon they couldn't hit a guy from 30 metres away continually that day, and, well, you think it'd be bread and butter stuff, Couchy.
That's right.
Evan Ewan coming off the ground, Paul, replaced by Brett Chandler. And obviously North Melbourne think they need a bit more run.
So McKernan trying to get it out of that danger zone. Here's Fraser Brown. Lock. Out towards Camporelli. Hume caught. Loses the ball in the tackle. Probably good umpiring in the finish. The ball was knocked out in the tackle.
Just another match-up there. Lance Whitnall playing on Archer. Jared, what do you think about that?
Well, he's had a couple of opponents. He started with Hewitt on him, and then McKernan has been on him, and now it's Archer. So Dennis Pagan just settling his defensive positions down.
So half forward for the Blues. Fraser Brown trying to crash it. Well, this is typical North Melbourne, isn't it? Come in and gang tackle. They're a terrific tackling side.
Well, they are a good tackling side, but most important here, there must be strong breeze going to left of screen here.
Yeah, 4.
Because they've just want to hold the ball up. They're not too worried about scoring goals because all their players are down the other end of Carlton, past the centre line.
So Carlton with a chance, but Grant to King. Oh, he loves to back himself. There he goes. A racehorse out towards centre wing again. Silvani, good play. Staging for a free kick. Welsh, very. Well, I thought it was a bit lucky. I thought he staged for that one, but the umpires paid it. Silvani finds Ratton. Back to Silvani. That really looked shocking kick. The half forward. Camporelli around the corner, hoping bumped off it. Was Koutafidis. Missed off the ground by Beaumont. Pike goes to ground.
Oh, shocker.
And it's a free.
A very ordinary decision. You're trying to tell me, Couchy, that he had prior opportunity.
No, you didn't, Jared. But here we see it. Didn't have no chance there. That's a terrible decision.
And when
he's going to bounce it, isn't he?
No, he couldn't bounce it.
A free kick. Oh, you are kidding.
Where's Peter Swab when we need him?
Simon Beaumont's taking the free kick here, but also Koutafidis attacking the ball there. He just let Pike just brush him to the side and just fell to the ground. I'd like to see Kouta go at it a bit harder.
Beaumont from directly in front. They need a goal, the Blues. Oh, goodness me. I mentioned, I reckon 2 minutes ago, how that skill has gone, and he can't kick a goal from 30 metres directly in front.
Terrible.
Here we have another look at this incident.
Yeah, if that's not no prior opportunity there.
Carlton
Get the dictionary out, boys.
Carlton doing quite well at these kick-ins because they've got a very extensive zone set up.
They've got their half-back lines down, Jared, into the 50-metre arc.
So they're going long now to big McKernan, who's planted himself at centre half-back, but big punch from behind. Sees Scholl come with the football, gets it on to Johnny Longmire, who's struggling to maintain possession. Nice handball out to Anthony Stevens, who drives it looking for Carey. Yeah. Out in front comes Chandler, overruns it to his Carey, and Brown takes the ball away to Lock.
Good play by the Blues. Sexton, back to McKay, been in terrific form. Rice, McKay again to half forward. The North defence is pretty strong. Dropped by McKernan, tried to hug it up high to his chest. There's Scott. loses the ball in the tackle. Franchina is there, number 45. McKernan tries to sock it off the ground. Ratton working hard, gets in a quick little hand pass. Oh, strong tackling by North.
No,
Too high.
Free kick. Too high.
Free kick to North to Robert Scott. You would have played a bit of football with him, Couchy.
Good little tag. He was a good little half forward for us at Geelong, but he's been used as a tagger at North Melbourne, Peter.
So Robert Scott to half forward. No mark. Oh, look at trying to crash his way through the pack with Scott.
Ratton.
Here's Ratton. They've got a chance here. They've opened up the forward line. They need a mark. Koutafidis. Pike. Good play by Kuda. Here's Whitnell on the left foot, bending it back at goal. Oh, goodness me, yet another point.
Promising attack on the footy there by the Blues, and Fraser Brown doing quite well across that half-back line to get the ball back in their possession. But good to see Anthony Koutafidis attacking the football. And not only that, he dropped the ball, and his second effort was excellent, setting the ball up for Whitnell.
A beautiful kick in from the back line by King. Here's Archer, who was sensational against the Swans last week across that half-back line when he put himself in front of Plugger numerous times.
I wouldn't do that.
He deserved a bravery award.
Now, Paul, what was the difference between that tackle on Archer and the one on Pike?
Jared, no difference.
So the ball almost in the centre of the ground. Hume really wasted this breeze. Welsh goes in and again being gang tackled, and the umpire will bounce.
And Carlton are using a two-prong attack in their 10-yard square there, or 10-metre square. Koutafidis on Pike, and Pearce and Blakey are back right on the goal square there. So they're trying to use two leads at the forward line, Carlton.
So Porter wins that one with the left hand. The scrambly passage of play, and it's players piling on top of it for a bounce.
I'd be happy with this if I was North Melbourne. There's a bit of a breeze going to left of screen here, and all they're doing is bottling it up. They'd be happy just to soak the clock down here and just keep it nice and tight.
Has it been effective though, Paul? Because if Carlton had kicked straight,
yeah, I know that,
they'd be 3 or 4 goals.
But they only kicked 5 points, and it's been okay footy, I suppose. It's been very ordinary.
Well, here's King trying to weave through the pack, a la Robert Harvey. Lock hooks it back to the half-forward line, hoping someone could take a mark, but again it lands in the hands. Was he off? No, don't tell me. Oh, goodness me. Brian Sheehan, you're an experienced umpire.
Actually, there's been some shockers
he
here.
He ran to the left. The player obviously thought he was going to play on, didn't he?
Yeah, once you go off your line, you can't. Exactly. It's play on. Once you go off your line, that's play on. There he was. He went off his line. That's play on.
Well, I just wonder whether there's going to be 2 50-metre penalties here, because Scott Camperelli was involved in a fracas, a minor one at that.
Robert Scott with the aid of that 50 in towards the pocket. The pack develops. Sexton, Carey and Silvani. Oh, good play by Carey, and then was stripped. Silvani. Well, one thing you will say, Jared and Paul, that Carey is not going to have an easy day playing on the praying mantis is all over you, Steve Silvani.
Particularly at that end of the ground where the supply is going to be very limited. Wouldn't have surprised to see him start at centre-half back.
I was going to say, Jared, you play Carey at centre-half back where most of the play is. Put your good players in and around the ball.
Well, Silvani putting his body in. He's getting in front of Carey, and a couple of doubtful free kicks, but at least he's putting his body in and getting in front. This is Andrew McKay. Chip, he's put it up. Bad kick, a very bad option. And the mark taken not by Stevens.
When you clear like that, have a bit more purpose and use the ball better, and actually kick a bit longer. If you're going to kick to a one-on-one position short, you're better off to go longer option, go to the taller player.
Stevens up in front of goal, hoping mark! Johnny Longmire in the middle of that pack has gone bang and will kick from about 20 metres, and don't be surprised if he puts it right through the middle.
You'd be disappointed if he did it for 20
Well,
minutes.
I mean, what I'm referring to is the fact that Carlton's had it on their forward line all quarter and couldn't kick a goal.
Actually, you haven't seen John Longmire take a lot of pack marks over the last couple of years since his recent injuries with knees, and it was good to see him and give him a bit of confidence, because he has been a little bit down on confidence lately.
Well, what he did do well there was sidestep Michael Sexton. He got him out of position. Sexton in the finish was in front of the pack, and Johnny Longmire, after a great kick from Anthony Stevens, basically took the ball almost alone with a couple of people coming from behind.
So over 500 goals in league football, and there's another one.
And great to see the horse, who's had his injury problems this year, doing well at the start of the game. And the tactic from North Melbourne appears to be, let's just win the footy across the defensive area, work it up to a Wayne Carey, and then maybe just wait, if you can get a mark, until we get some further options up in the forward line, and perhaps just try and orchestrate a goal like that.
Run the ball up, Jared. That's what they've been doing. They've been pushing all their players down the Carlton forward end and pushing the ball forward with run.
So back to the centre. North lead after Carlton have had the ball in their forward line nearly the whole of the first term. There's Damien Locke, loses it to Abraham. Now Pickett, who's been a very good player this year for North, and the umpire will come in and bounce.
I was speaking to a rugby league identity a couple of weeks ago, and he was suggesting that rugby league is now more like Australian rules footy, and Australian rules footy is more like rugby league.
Well, look how many players are there now. There must be about 18 players around the ball. You got 1 in 18 chance of getting it.
It's becoming more and more like the old keepings off that you used to play at school. Now, Rock receives from Bell. Centre wing is Manton. He gets a cruel bounce. Welsh is there. Support from Stevens. Anthony Stevens smothered off the boot. Welsh has it punched away. Ratton has started the game very well. Or Fraser Brown in trouble. There was a poor hand pass. Now Mackay. They need a goal, the Blues. Let's see what Pearce can do. Good play by Blakey. The left arm across the body and out of bounds went the ball.
Andrew Mackay could have probably straightened the ball up more to the full forward line there, Peter. I think going to the pocket there, it makes it so easy for the backman just to push it out, and that's what they did then.
So half forward for Carlton. 5 points they've only scored with nearly all the play, and again will be a bounce. Oh, free kick in that pack, and it will go the way of North Melbourne to Peter Bell.
So that's an easy free kick, isn't it?
And Peter Bell. You see a lot of this now, the staging, the players trying to get that 50-metre penalty, which Bell tried then, and umpire Brian Sheena wake up to it. Half forward still for Carlton. Good mark, Manton.
Good play by Glenn Manton, because the ball is sitting up, going up against the breeze there. He got in front and used his body well.
More courage needed by Peter Bell as Hume kicked it forward. And that was terrific by the former Docker. Here's Archer, who the North Melbourne fans love, and no wonder. Half forward, no mark. Tapped on by Chandler, taken by Mackay. He's gone. Rice,
gone.
Almost gone. Gets a hand pass and out of bounds it goes on centre wing.
And isn't it one of the great features of our game when the whole crowd that is on the opposite side yells ball?
Yes, it's been time immemorial with that
one
great
side
crowd
yells
roar for ball,
and the other half of the crowd yells man.
Well, here's Andrew Mackay. It's a wobbly one in towards half forward. McKernan into the hole at half. Oh, he's dropped it, another chest mark. Dangerous. Pearce caught. Should be a bounce.
Actually, Corey McKernan's filling the hole there in between the 35-metre mark in Carlton's zone there, and just what you're better off to do is bring Porter down and play on him. Don't let Corey McKernan dictate turns, especially when Carlton have got the breeze. Put Porter down there, get a one-on-one contest all over the ground.
He's starting to look like Phil Tufnell the way he's marking that football.
Fraser Brown. It's taken away by Scholler. Actually kicked that out of defence. Here's Abraham. Now Anderson. Scott. Now Locke. Andrew Mackay getting plenty of the ball. Smothered well by Winston Abraham. The bounce is important here. Abraham again in after the ball. It's at half back for North. And I'm sure Brian Sheen will bounce this. He will. Still at half forward for Carlton.
It's a scrappy old game at the moment. A lot of mistakes made. But North Melbourne are pushing all their forwards down Carlton's end. Just holding up the play there and just soaking the clock at the moment. Just running the clock. There's about 20 players around there. So how have you got a chance to get a kick there, Jared?
Well, you haven't, have you? And there's only 2 players on North Melbourne's side of the centre circle. And they're only about 5 metres into their forward line.
Locke to Rice. A wobbly one. Kudafiti's playing for the free kick. And I really think that Anthony Kudafiti should have charged that ball to take the mark rather than worry about the free
I think
kick.
That's what he did against West Coast last week. He was in between the 2 players, lacking a lot of confidence, but his attack on the ball is certainly not as strong as it should be. Over the last couple of years, he's been a bit disappointing.
Porter to Ratton. They went without it. Scott tackled. Beaumont went in. A quick little kick out towards the half-forward line. Franchina loses the ball. Archer to Rock. Rock to the half-back line. North are doing well. Mackay almost took the mark. Winston Abraham did well. Good play by Locke. Andrew McKay to the pocket, but it's all North. McKernan, an easy mark, and the ironical cheers as he took the third attempt at the chest mark. He marked Carey over the back. Wayne Carey, magnificent mark at half back for North.
Typical Wayne Carey mark though. He used his body to get the player out of the position there, Rice, and takes the chest mark once again. He doesn't take a lot of marks with extended arms. Gets the player underneath him and takes the mark generally on his chest.
And great Bronx cheers for Phil Tufnell, dressed up as Corey McKernan. But Carey drives the ball to centre half forward, and once again John Longmire takes a pretty good mark in front, and that's the position you've got to be when you're kicking into the wind against Michael Sexton. Drives it long, looking for Bell, and a fantastic mark by Peter Bell. And this could be dangerous, Paul, if he can slot this one.
Well, they're going with the breeze. Carlton have kicked 5 points, haven't made a lot of use of it by poor kicking. And Peter Bell, if he kicks this goal, they're 7 points in front, and they're going against the breeze. But a great one-handed mark, gets Hume out of the way. Great skill, left hand.
He's been terrific for North.
Peter Bell been a great acquisition since he's been for Fremantle. And Carlton have done what I suggested before. They've brought Mark Porter down onto Corey McKernan to have a one-on-one contest all over the ground.
So Bell from almost directly in front kicks. There's hardly a murmur at that end, and he has missed. Again, I maintain what I said before.
Let's have a look at this. Great right foot.
I mean, that should be gimme stuff from 20 metres, shouldn't it? A slight angle.
You love them every day, Pete, if you mark it and 20 metres out.
Well, it can cost you games, that's for sure. Silvani, Sexton, having those two players been fantastic competitors over the years.
All Australians.
Yeah, both tremendous players. Here's Shannon Grant at the back, Porter at the front. Abraham, no, it's not, it's Pickett.
Oh, he doesn't get out of the road.
Pickett in again. The Blues are having a go, but there's Scholl to McKernan. McKernan caught. Play on, good umpiring. Whitnell taken away by Scholl, who seems to be way up the ground. It'd be interesting to try and pick up, courage by Bell. But interesting to try and pick up where Scholl is actually playing in a moment. Here's Bell, and that is clever, except that the kick.
50
what
metre.
happened there? 50-metre penalty. I wonder why the players had stopped. 50-metre penalty. Don't tell me there'll be another goal coming up to North.
Over umpiring, Jared, at this stage, do you think there's been a lot of free kicks? There hasn't been a lot of free kicks in other games, but there's a lot of Tiggy Touchwood free kicks.
I think, Paul, when you've got 18 to 36 players around the ball, there is going to be lots of packs, and they've got to pick out a free kick as Peter Bell lines them up this time to see if he can make amends. It's another driving kick, but once again to the right of the goalpost, and that's two misses in a couple of minutes from Peter Bell. That one not all that easy and hasn't received the wrath of Peter McKenna.
We've had one goal in 22 and a half minutes of football.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
On
Great
a dry day.
Stimulating stuff.
Well, it's not all that good at the moment, but let's hope it does pick up as we see the ball centre of the ground with Clapper. He was looking there for Ratton. Now Fraser Brown. They've got a chance here through Camporelli. Poor kick. It should have gone to Pearce, who was on this side of the ground. Taken away by Blakey, socket away by Longmire, and Luck's a fortune because out there was Rock. So Anthony Rock, way out at centre wing, puts it up high, hoping so. Good mark, Welsh at the back. Terrific mark by this young player. Scott Welsh, number 30. So Welsh into the danger area in front of goal. Silvani and Carey. And a mark to Beaumont, was it? Yes.
Great mark. Peter put his body in front with that little breeze holding it up there. It's a great mark.
Interesting to watch the passions of the crowd. They really do take it seriously. As we see McKay, his handball straightened the player coming towards him in King. Or was that a throw? Or did he push? I think he just pushed it, didn't he? What would you have paid, umpire Healy?
I wouldn't have. I would have paid play on there. I thought that wasn't. It didn't get air, so I think, and he didn't scoop it. And I think that's the instruction from the umpire as we see the ball thrown in again, once again on North Melbourne's forward flank. Hamill gets the ball forward, but Winston Abraham continues to burrow in, as does Locke. Chandler wraps it up, and the umpire will have to come in and ball it up again.
Well, when it comes to an umpiring decision, I would never argue with a Brownlow medalist.
Thank you, Pete.
You never do that.
Two Brownlow medalists. Gee, I'm the odd one out here.
The champion full forward.
The bounce at half forward for North. Bell receives from Longmire. Here's King, bending it back to the pocket. This is a terrific contest. Silvani and Carey. Carey looking for the free kick then. Sexton. Here's Rock. Stevens. Oh, he missed it. And what's happened here? A free kick to North right in front of goal to Stevens.
And
holding his jumper, the umpire has said. And Anthony Stevens will kick. Let's have another look at this one.
Actually, Scotty Welsh should have went for the ball there. I think it's just inexperience. They're just waiting for...
Oh, come on. You just...
That had to be a free kick.
Very soft, wasn't it?
Very soft.
But Stevens from directly in front should kick a goal here for North. And he has, I would think, by the reaction of the crowd. Yes, goal.
Yeah, it's pretty easy free kick there to be given.
Had to be given, sure.
Yeah, it did. It had a hold of him.
And how'd you go at geometry?
Very briefly.
How'd you go at geometry?
I taught it.
But just one thing, just watch
Anthony Stevens comes in on a 45-degree angle and it's been called directly in front.
That is that's a gimme.
That's a gimme.
Forget about the actual angles, Jared. That's a gimme kick.
But what about Welsh there? It just shows inexperience. Like, he should have went at the ball and attacked the ball a bit harder and went for it himself.
So back to the centre. Carlton have seemed to have had a lot of the play, but in the last 5 or 6 minutes, certainly North have lifted. Chandler to the half-forward line, no mark. The ball hits the deck. McKay's working overtime there in defence. Here's Bowman. As the siren sounds to end a very scrappy first term where Carlton had a lot of the early play, Jared, but in the finish, North look as though they're going at about three-quarter pace.
Yeah, so at quarter time, North Melbourne 2-2-14 have well and truly got this game in their control. Carlton 5 behind.
So umpire Brian Sheehan raises the ball aloft to start the second term here at Optus Oval. North Melbourne lead by 9 points after a very scrappy first term in which the Blues had the wind. Fraser Brown kicks towards half forward. Off to Murphy. Murphy to Koutafidis, and he tries to duck back and take the mark, but it beats him over the line.
Actually, I've never seen, like we commented on the first quarter, the skill level of Carlton this year has been absolutely atrocious. They're not to actually hit the bloke or actually kick the goal and just kick to the boundary. They just no care. Once you get clear, make sure you hit the target.
Well, they had plenty of the play early in the first term and just did not capitalise, the Blues. They kicked 5 points to North Melbourne's 2-2. Now, they would want one of the forwards to stand up and kick goals. Maybe Pearce or the young player down there in Whitnall or Koutafidis, but they certainly need one of those forwards firing, if not a couple of them. McKernan beaten by Porter. There's Scholl. Have we worked out where Scholl's playing? He's certainly not playing on the forward line. He's played a lot in defence, particularly during that first term.
It's going to make it very hard for Carlton here to actually score a goal because they've got no space to work and their forwards have got no space. And another pack develops and there's about 16 around the ball. Good luck.
So McKernan flicks it over the back. Fraser Brown caught. Rock. Koutafidis.
Yeah, it's a great game.
And Camporelli. So the ball out of bounds about 40 metres around from the Carlton goal, and they badly need a couple of quick kicks just to give them that bit of life and a bit of heart. So half forward, Hume, half forward for Carlton, that is. King loses it. Hamill did well. Fraser Brown, a snap. Yes, goal. That's what they needed, the Blues. So maybe that will lift their performance. They moved on to 1-5 and they only, North Melbourne 2-2, so they trail by 3 points.
And once again, another pretty good tack from Porter. He got it out to Hume, who burrows in and gets the footy. King got the ball. It was ricocheted through a number of players, and a reflex goal by Fraser Brown, who I think is a player that's suited to this style of football with so many players around the ball. He's a burrowing type of footballer. And just have a look at Fraser Brown attack the footy inside a pack.
It's good quick hands by Carlton in tight though, Jared. Flick the ball out to Fraser Brown.
So McKernan again to take on Porter. McKernan wins that one with the left hand, taken by Bell. A quick kick, courage needed. Oh, could have been almost a free kick to Manton, taken by Welsh. A one-on-one contest. Sexton did very, very well on Longmire then. I thought Longmire, he's still going Sexton. That was terrific till Silvani. Now Rice, he should take it through, and he does. So behind to North Melbourne. They move on to 2-3, Carlton 1-5.
Actually, John Longmire's body strength's worrying Sexton at the moment, Jared. He's just buffered him out there a couple of times, just used his body and his arms to put him out of position.
He was unlucky not to pick up a mark there as Carlton bring the ball in. And a nice tidy mark there by Simon Beaumont, who drives the ball to the half-back line with his left foot. Porter couldn't take it. Blustery conditions, tough on all players. Shannon Grant gave the body slam there to Scott Camporelli, who's on the bottom of the pack. And for the 5th or 6th time already in this quarter, the umpire will come in and effect a bounce some 60 metres out from Carlton's goal.
Well, that's interesting. Carlton has trailed at half-time in every game this season. Well, you're not going to win many if you trail at half-time, as we see Hamill go towards the half-forward line. Here's Pearce. That's what they need. Brad Pearce. Oh, he tried to chip it low towards goal. Look at that hold up in the breeze. Taken by Martin Pike. Pike will drive it out to centre wing to a contest. Back with the flight of the ball was Locke. This is Brent Harvey. Oh, look at the pace of Harvey. Good play to Rock. And he centres it towards half forward. Longmire's got a few to beat. He can't mark. Carlton have got the numbers. Taken by Rice. On to Franchina. Centre of the ground, Ratton. Ratton drives to half forward. Pearce in front. Good use of the body. Archer very cleverly. Terrific play. Blakey's there in support. Centre of the ground, it's thumped to the ground. The players come in after it. It's a young player in Damien Locke. Bring it to half forward. Should be marked by Whitnell. It's not. He's got some support. Kudafidi receives it back. Kudafidi, here's a chance. Whitnell, good play. Terrific dummy. Kicks it goal and puts it out in the field. So a terrific passage of play spoiled.
Yeah, that's right, man. Good hand, quick hands by Kudafidi. Good second effort again. Pushed up. Unlucky, just got out of his space there, Lance Whitnell. Just covered the space there. Kudafidi gives the ball out, feeds it out beautifully to Lance Whitnell. But it just didn't take his time here, and it was good work by Pickett just to put him out.
Yeah, some nice pressure there from Pickett, but King with the ball, and he finds Pickett, who can run through the middle of the ground. He drives the ball long. He's looking for Longmire and Carey at the back of the pack. It's Longmire. A magnificent kick to position, but terrific assessment of the kick by John Longmire, who, well, he should go back and just put through his second goal without too much trouble.
Yeah, certainly great judgment by Longmire, and he has troubled Sexton here at the first quarter and a bit here, just using his judgment, and he's just reading the ball through the air there. Very blustery breeze there, and a good judgment by John Longmire.
So from 25 metres out, John Longmire approaches the goal. A pretty fair performance. The umpire hasn't moved, and Longmire gets his second. That's one in each quarter. And North Melbourne take a pretty handy lead once again. It's 3-3-21 to Carlton, 1-5-11.
I think I'd prefer Michael Sexton up at centre half-back, where he can read the play a bit better. He seems to struggle there at full-back. You know, he's not quite sure whether to go forward or back. And I'd even put Silvani back on Longmire, because Longmire's been pretty dangerous first quarter and a bit. I know Carey hasn't had much influence, but I'd put Sexton out there because he's a better judge of the ball in and around centre half-back and in the midfield.
So 10 points the margin in favour of North. And look far more dangerous on the breakaway. There's Porter. Now Ratton. He's having a pretty good game, Brett Ratton. In towards half-forward. Hamill. Oh, good mark. Terrific effort. And there's a happy Carlton supporter applauding that. Now, distance will be a doubt probably here. He'll have to kick it 50 into the breeze.
And I'd reckon Craig Scholl's playing on Aaron Hamill, Pete.
Yes, well, that's interesting. He's played a lot in defence early in his career and on a wing. Now, Hamill from right on 50 has to try and drive it low, and you can see trying to get that extra distance. He has missed and put it out on the full.
Actually, the players seem to be adjusting a bit better to the breeze. The last 5 or 6 minutes, the game's really picked up, and it certainly is a better spectacle.
So Glenn Archer is champion North Melbourne. Well, he's a bit of a utility player, can play anywhere. That's Adam Simpson. On to Stevens. Oh, Stevens, a great kick. Oh, Abraham took his eyes off that one. I thought he could have marked it. Sexton is there. Fraser Brown, now Locke.
Is that a bit of the ball?
Now Locke into half-forward. Hamill, free kick. No free kick. I thought it was across his neck. Handball to Locke. Here's Murphy on the left foot. They need a goal. The Blues, it's swinging back. Touched just before the line. In fact, it hit the post in the finish. And a few roars. There's a lot of people felt there was a free kick out there. Hamill right across his neck and head. And, well, we've just seen the replay of that, and that was a definite free kick, or should have been paid. Peter Bell races in after it. Here's Fraser Brown onto the left. They need a goal, the Blues, and I think they've got it. Was it touched? I don't think so. This is a goal. Yes. So a badly needed one to the Blues, and Fraser Brown has kicked his second.
Some pretty good signs for the Blues. I reckon they're playing the better footy at the moment because they've had a lot more of the football. North Melbourne's gone forward just on a couple of occasions and have been fortunate to kick a goal with one of them. But this is a far improved performance by Carlton in this term, and they would have penetrated their forward 50 more times, I would have thought, in this term to date than North Melbourne, who are just struggling a little bit. And they really need Corey McKernan to lift his game as the umpire bounces the ball once in the centre. Porter over the top, gets the ball. Through comes Harvey, driving the ball long, once again looking for Longmire. Sexton takes the front spot and affects a brilliant mark, as Paul Couch has described.
So top mark, Michael Sexton, and I'm with you, Paul. He's far happier when the ball is out around the half-back area. But with Silvani sort of holding Carey at the moment, I suppose David Parkin hasn't really got much option but to leave Silvani at centre back.
No, you'd even probably swing Carey into full forward just to change it all around. Bring Longmire out to centre forward, although he doesn't play there very often. Just swing it around every now and then.
So Hume went in hard then. It's hooked around the body by McKernan, straight up in the air, and then he goes in to try and grab it against Silvani. As usual, he's a terrific defender, Silvani, and he's all over his opponent. He just
gets it out of the area and just
punches.
push it forward and get it out of the area. So
when North, they're 5-1 when in their games that they've won when they've been leading at quarter time, North Melbourne this year. Well, they're so tough and hard at the ball. There's the ball kicked forward in towards, Pearce was there, and also young Whitnell will be throwing at half foot. But I'm a little bit with you, Gerard. There's some good signs for Carlton here.
I think their midfield's well and truly on top. Maybe Peter Bell has been one of North Melbourne's better players, but I think Porter's having a fair impact. This time it's Corey McKernan. Anthony Stevens lets fly with a pretty dangerous kick, but he hasn't been penalised. Yes, he has, in fact. The umpire has given the free kick to Darren Hume, and probably justifiably so. Short chip kick finds Simon Beaumont, who's pushed up from the defensive area. He goes to the left foot, going high into the forward line, and out comes Koutafidis, who did pretty well because Corey McKernan had come across to make it a 2-on-1 situation. But the man who means so much to Carlton has now the football in his hands, and perhaps he can go back and kick their second goal in just a couple of minutes.
It's great strength here used by Koutafidis. Could have let a bit harder there, but he's pushed himself off Pike, and McKernan there was just about to chop it off, but it was a great grab by Koutafidis under pressure.
So Koutafidis from 20 metres out on a slight angle goes back, kicks the ball high, and he's kicked it truly. And Carlton have kicked their second goal in this term, third goal in this term, to take the lead 3-6 to 3-3.
And it's great work here by Koutafidis, moving Pike around all the time here. Leads once, gives him a dummy lead, pushes forward and uses his arms and strength body, and McKernan should actually just use a punch there instead of trying to mark the ball. Bad option by Corey McKernan.
And I think Pike was relying on McKernan to come across. So back we go to the centre. Good term this by the Blues, and they're certainly kicking further than we expected into the Breeze.
They played pretty well. They moved the ball well in through the midfield.
McKernan and Porter. Bell tries to crash his way through. Good play by Bell towards half-forward. Sexton and Longmire. Well played by Sexton to get a hand of that. Here's a chance for North Melbourne at half-forward. This is Welsh. Beaumont. Good play by Simon Beaumont. Manton can give it off. Rice just got his boot to it. Shannon Grant, we haven't seen a lot of him so far. McKernan. Here's David King from 60. Puts it up high. Longmire and McKay. No mark, and McKay sockers it. Free kick.
Johnny Longmire's picked up the free kick for interference, and Andy McKay is incensed.
Well, it didn't look to be much in that. Maybe the replay will show something different. Let's have a look at it, Couchy.
Yep. Dean Rice.
Good tackle by Winston Abraham to turn the ball over for starters.
Well, we're not going to see it, but his Longmire will probably run out, or he'll do a check side by the look of it. Yes, a check side. John Longmire, and let's wait on the goal umpire.
1 point.
And he has missed. But really, there didn't look to be much in that free. And here it is, and oh goodness, what is umpiring coming to? When that is just not a free kick.
There wasn't a lot of interference.
Well,
there.
what do you think? There was no interference.
Probably you've actually got to turn your head around and look down the ground. You can't actually attack the player.
Carlton drive the ball long once again at kick-ins, and that had to be a mark. It was in fact Porter who's playing pretty well for the Blues, and he is a ruckman with great potential, make no mistake about that. Big mark from Glenn Archer, who has raised himself above the ground and taken a great mark on the back of one of the Carlton key players. He drives the ball looking for McKernan. He couldn't take it, perhaps a penalty free kick. No, it wasn't paid, and Welsh, who has slipped in behind, has picked up a nice little chest mark to set himself up for what should be a pretty easy conversion with such a strong wind behind him.
Yeah, it's a great judgment by Welsh. He's taken a couple of nice marks today, and he's only a young player, and it's great judgment in the middle of the pack there to take a nice mark.
So Scotty Welsh comes in from, he'll be kicking from about 48 metres, make that 52, and makes the distance without any problems whatsoever. The North Melbourne cheer squad are pretty happy with it, and so is the umpire. So here's this great mark once again by Archer, who gives Lance Whitnell a nice knee in the jaw on the way through.
It's good, but the wind must held the ball up for him, just made it nice and easy for him, and just a good clean jump.
And he's amazing. He is amazing. I've stood next to him. He is not a tall player. He would be barely 5'11", I would say, Paul.
He's very hard at it though. When he just his attack on the ball there and just push himself up there, great mark.
I thought Carlton a bit stiff there not to get a free kick paid against McKernan for the push out with maybe an unrealistic attempt at a mark, but nevertheless back in the centre.
Manton and Longmire, there's two unlikely ruckmen, or maybe Longmire does a bit now. Advantage paid. The Blues go forward through Dean Rice, a booming kick, but he's kicked it straight to the North Melbourne player. Drop. Koutafidis couldn't get his boot to it. Here's Shannon Grant around the boundary line. King is there. Off now. What was that off? So it'll be a throw-in deep in that forward pocket for the Blues. King dropped the mark he should have taken.
He's been at the Phil Tufnell School of Marking.
Forward pocket.
Tell you what, it must be blustery out there. Great players dropping these marks.
Longmire to centre wing. It's flicked over the back by Abraham. That was brilliant. Bounce. Will he go again? Winston Abraham. That was clever. That is a magnificent goal. He bent that Paul Couch onto the outside of his foot deliberately instead of kicking on the left.
He's just got great skill, Winston Abraham. Longmire gets a quick kick out of the pack here, as you see. Andrew McKay, great second effort by Winston Abraham, takes him on, great bounce, and lines up, and just checks the ball offside on his right foot, and a great goal.
Yeah, fantastic performance, because it was Winston Abraham who initially punched the ball forward. He probably would have come up with a 50-metre penalty had Steve Silvani made connection with that tripping motion. But what a great goal, as you correctly described, Peter. Just pushed the ball off the outside of his boot. It was just classic skill. Ball back in the centre now. A vital bounce down for Carlton because they need to respond pretty quickly. Once again, it's won by Porter, but through comes Byron Pickett. Just charges his way through. And a penalty is paid against him with a pretty good tackle by Darren Hume. Nice example of British Bulldog there, and Hume has come up with a pretty good turnover. Drives the ball,
great,
looking for Koutafidis, but this time David King makes amend after that, that fairly ordinary performance a couple of minutes ago, and that was pure brilliance.
So Martin Pike, straight down the centre corridor. Carey's been well held by Silvani, taken away by Rice. Towards the half-forward line, Whitnell read it beautifully. On to Hume. Let's see what they can do now, the Blues. A beautifully directed kick to the half-forward line. Well, was it a mark to Hamill? No, umpire said no. Play on. Kicked off the ground out towards Chandler, former Fitzroy utility play. Here's Hamill again. On to Camporelli. They need a mark, and they've got it for Murphy. And, gee, that's good to see. Here's a loose man. No, he's going to have a shot from 40 metres. blazes to the right, lucky to get it behind, and he had a teammate on his own if he had have got back quickly enough.
In the right forward pocket there was Lance Whitnell all on his own, but a great pass by Scott Camperelli. Carlton need more of him on the wing there because he is a good user of the ball and his disposal is generally effective. It was a great pass to Justin Murphy. Let him down though.
Missed opportunity by Carlton, no doubt. North Melbourne lead by 9 points. They're kicking with the assistance of a 4 or 5 goal breeze, so you could argue that Carlton have done particularly well. Punch back into the Carlton forward line. Shannon Grant pushes the ball forward. This time it gets kicked by Scholl. He just blazes away long, and it's a pretty fair kick at that. Silvani looks to mop up the ball. He's been given assistance by Manton. Scott Welsh just harasses him. And pretty good harassment it was. Through comes McKernan. Silvani goes in. This time it's Rock. In goes Brent Harvey, and the umpire will be forced to come in and throw the ball up.
So Carlton's midfield been working well. Jared been using the ball with Holm through the quick hands through the middle there. Fraser Brown, haven't seen a lot of Ratton yet, but he's in and under all the time.
Half forward for North. They look a little bit more dangerous when they go forward. Sexton and Fraser Brown combined. Oh, poor bounce for McKay. He's battled his heart out. This will be a bounce by Brian Sheen. Good umpiring way out here at half forward for North. Scoreboard shows North 5-4, Carlton 3-7. They've had their opportunities, the Blues. They still haven't used big Matthew Allen. He's still running around the boundary line warming up. So Porter and McKernan. Porter won that one with the left hand. Ratton has tried hard. Bell takes it over the line again at half forward.
And they made a change here. They put Koutafidis out to centre half forward onto John Longmire. That's what they need to do. He needs to match up on somebody else and take the pressure off him.
McKernan and Porter. McKay. Here's King. He loves to run. Will he take them on? Oh, he goes for the check side kick to half forward. Manton. Oh, Carey or Silvani. Who's marked?
Carey's.
Well, Carey had it. Carey definitely had first grab. Then it landed in the hands of Silvani. That was an interesting one. But I've got no doubt Carey had it at first.
Carey had it first there. It was just the umpire was on the other side of the pack, Peter, and didn't see it properly.
Maybe Silvani had an arm in there. It was a difficult one for the umpire to deliberate on. Now he's found the free kick here to McKernan, who will kick from about 45 metres. So I think there was a bit of shepherding in that ruck contest the umpire was signalling. So Corey McKernan looks different with that longer hair. Certainly a great athlete. So Corey McKernan kicks out to the right, trying to get it to swing back, but it didn't come back.
One of the main things, Peter, is never give the goals away, even if there is a breeze there. Should always aim for the right-hand goal post if you're a right footer, metre inside, never give the goals away, and don't expect the wind to use the ball and get it through into the goals there.
Well, a short chip kick finds Glenn Mant once again, and Dean Rice doing pretty well in those defensive kick-ins, generally finding his man. Big leap by Koutafidis at the back. He's supported by Hamill, who perhaps gave a free kick away, wasn't paid by the umpire. Koutafidis gets the ball onto Locke. A look-away handball finds Lance Whitnell. He goes inboard, and Brown's on his own. He's got a 50-metre stretch of free land in front of him. Waits for a teammate. This time it's Anthony Franchino who tries to beat a couple. Ball is turned over, but just through weight of numbers and pressure by North Melbourne. And they take it away through Shannon Grant. Gets it onto the running King. Evades one player. Takes a bounce. He's got a free player out here on the members' wing in front of the John Elliott stand in Brent Harvey. Harvey will be looking downfield for one of his tall players. He does it all by himself. This time on the left foot, he centres the ball at the back of the pack. A pretty fair mark by Scotty Welsh. And he should just about drive this ball deep into the goal square for North Melbourne.
Welsh sets it up looking for McKernan. Silvani swoops at the back. Free kick, Silvani. Mark the bell. Silvani will argue this one. Silvani will argue this one.
He only had eyes on the ball though, Peter. And that's what you have to do.
Yes,
McKernan had eyes on the ball though.
I thought Silvani gave it up a little bit too easily and might have played for the free kick, and that's allowed Bell to come in and take the mark. It'll be a goal, I would think. Peter Bell has kicked it.
It was just a poor turnover by Carlton up the other end there to give North Melbourne the opportunity to score the goal there, with King doing a lot of the work in the run. Yeah, it was not a free kick.
Umpire was right, dead set right, and I think Silvani probably went to ground a little bit too easily.
It's good body work by Peter Bell. Once again, he did it beautifully up the other in the first quarter. to push out Hume again and take a nice one-handed mark on his left hand this time.
So a 16-point lead to North Melbourne, who have lifted their work rating in this second half of the second quarter. And, well, Carlton dominated the first 10 minutes, but it's been North Melbourne since. Coming through off centre wing was Adam Simpson, and he has just been poleaxed and put to the ground, but he's bounced up like the Indian rubber man, ready for another crack at it.
And Anthony Koutafidis has moved in the back pocket up against Glenn Archer. Back down from the forward line into the back line now.
Bounce on the centre wicket area. Porter brings the ball to the ground. Jason McCartney involved. Nice hands from Ratton. Gets it to Rice. He drives the ball long, but he's only come up with an opposition player in Corey McKernan, who's read the play pretty well and dropped back and taken a good defensive mark.
So McKernan is normally a booming kick. Gee, that's a good kick. Harvey is marked. Brent Harvey way out at half back. Straight down the middle of the ground. A pack develops. Koutafidis was at the back with the loose ball out wide is with Chandler, who's got an open goal. He sets it up for a one-on-one contest, but reading it beautifully was Sexton, but he's dropped the mark and it bounces off his chest and over. So
we've seen a lot of players today just drop a lot of chest marks. The wind must be very difficult out there, making it very hard for the players to actually take their chest marks. Must be swirling around the ball, Pete.
So North Melbourne look far more dangerous when they go into attack. Even with Carey being held, he's hardly been in the game. Here's Anthony Stevens bending it back in front of goal. Peter Bell at the back. Kept his eyes on it, couldn't take the mark. Koutafidis, they need him to start firing. Lock from 15 metres away, handballs it through and gets the hoots of the North Melbourne support. Like the old soccer games when the defender passes it back to the goalkeeper.
And starts the game all over again.
And people used to hate it.
And a worrying sign for North Melbourne. It looked like Martin Pike on the boundary line, who was stretching his thigh. Maybe he's come up with a strain there. He started on Anthony Koutafidis, and he's such an important player to North Melbourne. Once again, it's Dean Rice who kicks the ball out. He's looking for Lance Whitnell, but Anthony Rock comes up with a pretty good mark, and he'll drive North Melbourne back into attack. From just outside the forward 50. He drives the ball to centre half forward. At the back of the pack was McCartney. Ball comes to the ground. At the base of the pack was Scotty Welsh, who's having a pretty good quarter for North Melbourne, but the umpire will ball it up.
I thought you would have had a more expert diagnosis of that thigh injury with a couple of Latin names thrown in there.
Well, yes, quadriceps femoris probably has been strained.
I'm sure the public would be quite happier with that diagnosis, as we see the short kick come out from Whitnell on the Beaumont. He's been called to play on by his teammate in Whitnell. Now, I bet he tries to get on the left foot. No, he won't. Oh, I think he should have. Beaumont after that kick, it's a shocker.
He didn't have anybody to kick to, Pete, and he was just waiting for somebody to make a lead up forward, but there was no one there, so he just kept holding onto the ball until he ran out of space.
Well, Silvani's done an amazing job on Carey. I mean, Carey's hardly been in the game. You've got to hand it to Silvani, and the ball's been going down the forward line a lot for North. So it's way out at half forward. About 45 metres out from the North Melbourne goal. They lead 6-6 to 3-7.
Looks like Wayne Carey, Paul, may well even have been shifted to centre half back.
Yes, bring the attack the other way. Instead of being hunted all the time, let him be the hunter on Stephen Silvani.
Well, a bounce down 30 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. Brown couldn't get the ball forward with any great force, and after a North Melbourne turnaround, Lance Whitnell comes up with a mark. A chip kick to Anthony Koutafidis. He drives the ball to the half-back flank for North Melbourne, but too big and too strong in front of Justin Murphy was Corey McKernan, who's working his way into this game. David King goes to the middle of the ground, a handball to Pickett. Pickett on to Carey, could well have laid it off the shoal, but elects to go long. That's the instructions for the coach. At the back of the pack is Manton. He wraps up Peter Bell. Bell trying to push the ball forward. This time he gets it out. Scotty Welsh couldn't control it. Brent Harvey off the ground. It's a great goal, a reflex goal to Brent Harvey. And North Melbourne career away 7-6 to Carlton 3-7.
Just a typical Carlton effort there by Wayne Carey, going long with the kick and just putting pressure quickly on the Carlton defenders there. They keep it alive. Peter Bell keeps the ball alive, hits it out. Scott Welsh keeps kicking it forward, and Brent Harvey comes up with a quick snap and goal. Good work by North Melbourne players, but that's typical North Melbourne to get the ball on quickly and long.
But too easy, wasn't it, really, by the North Melbourne players. So back we go to the centre with umpire Brian Sheehan. That's Brent Harvey, we just saw on screen. Allen on the ground to take on McKernan. They both go early. Allen wins it. Stevens, a flying kick but missed it. Ratton receives from Fraser Brown to half forward. Oh, there he is, Archer, flying at the back. He is a brilliant player. Carey, they're trying to get him in the game by moving him to half back. He kicks it out wide, looking for Anthony Rock, but it beats him over the line, and probably a good thing because he had two Carlton players sweating on him. Koutafidis
is the loose man in North Melbourne's forward line, but the marker there in Glenn Archer is playing a loose man in Carlton's forward line.
So centre wing, Stevens, brought down by Ratton. There's two good hard goers. You would have, Paul, played on both of them in your time.
Yeah, good hard players. Stevens, he generally picked up
your pace would have
Gary Hocking. He usually picked up Gary Hocking. They always had a great battle.
Chandler couldn't take hold of the ball. Brown burrowing in once again, as is Anthony Stevens at the base of the pack. Not unusual to see him down there. And head-to-head, Anthony Stevens has 6 kicks and 1 handball, whereas Brett Ratton, who's perhaps having his best day for some time as far as possessions, has 14. This time it's Stevens. He gets it onto the right foot and a quick kick finds a teammate, Scott Welsh, who's playing very well in this quarter, Paul.
He has played very well. Even in the first quarter he was a little bit damaging, but great smart play by Scott Welsh. As soon as the ball's quickly kicked out of the pack, he was in front of his man.
And gets the ball now to Darren Hume. Drives the ball long. Once again, it's Franchina. Gets it onto Ratton. Chip kick. Doing it well is Carlton. Onto Brown. Lock. Needs a smart kick to find possession here, to find a teammate. He's got Pearce, who uses his pace to get around Blakey. Has one bounce. And a great tackle by Blakey. Will draw the free kick. And I reckon he's just lost a yard of pace there, Brad Pearce, because generally would have sprinted away.
In 95, he was very quick and probably one of the quickest in the league, Jared. And it was great work ethic by Blakey here. That's what he's known for. Just great, tremendous effort.
Sheer
great tenacity.
Yeah,
tenacity, sheer tenacity.
And he's been great. He has been good.
Finds
250 games for not a lot of skill, I suppose you could say. And he's got a great work ethic, John Blakey.
Well, the kick from Pickett wasn't a great one, but in front was Archer. Ball comes to ground now. It's given away by Beaumont.
Come on,
boys.
Come on.
So the start of the third term here at Optus Oval, a 4-goal lead to North Melbourne in a pretty blustery type of day. Difficult for the players as we see Byron Pickett kick it towards the half-forward line for North. Carlton this quarter kicking with the aid of the breeze. Here's Brent Harvey bending it back to half-forward, looking for Abraham. Onto the left foot goes Adam Simpson with a long driving kick towards goal. Here's a chance for Rock. Can't get there before it rolls over the line deep in that forward pocket for North.
And Pike must be injured, Jared. He's off the ground, and the ever dangerous Koutafidis, who hasn't been too dangerous today, Glenn Archer is picking him up.
So McKernan to take on Allen, who started on interchange. There's Ron DiUlio and Adam Simpson forcing it to the line. So a 4-goal lead, and that's even with Wayne Carey being pretty well held by Silvani.
Yeah, it's been a good contest between those two players as we see Allen onto the ground, gets the ball out to Ratton. This time it's a young man, Ronnie DiUlio, who isn't that young anymore, the bricklayer from Carlton. Gets the ball, and without doubt it was impeded Darren Hume, but no free kick. And Byron Pickett comes in. He's wrapped up by Steve Silvani. No free kick once again. He cops one in the head there from his opponent in Wayne Carey.
It was a great effort by Steve Silvani. They were in amongst two North Melbourne players, and Longmire should have went in with the shepherd there and let Pickett go for the ball. But it's a great effort by Silvani in desperation against a 2-on-1 option.
Showing some pretty good leadership is the Blues vice captain. This time it's Sexton versus Longmire. It was won by Longmire. Brown gets the ball to Ronnie DiUlio. Hume just tries to nudge out his players. Once again it's Sexton. Working at the back of the pack was Brent Harvey. He's bustled out. Fraser Brown on the bottom. And once again the umpire at centre wing, outer side here at Optus Oval, will come in and throw the ball up. In fact, he might even bounce it down.
Wayne Carey's playing centre half back, and Steve Silvani up against him at centre half forward. So a changeover roles in this third term.
So we've seen a lot of packs develop in this match. Many players around that ball. There's DiUlio trying to get in a hand pass that the umpire will come in and bounce.
This is not a real effective play by Carlton. They should get some space for themselves, the Carlton forwards, and give himself an option, 1-on-1. Now Longmire's dropped back into Carlton's forward 50 there, playing a loose man.
Scholl, two playing down in defence after playing the last couple of years at the forward line. Here's Rock receiving from Bell up towards half forward. Was that a push out? No, Mark de Beaumont. So Simon Beaumont transferring play. This is better. Murphy on his own, centre of the ground. Now they've got to make something of this. Off it is to Whitnell. Whitnell, a hurried kick. Pressure by Abraham, and Longmire chipping into that hole. The halfback has taken an easy mark. And again, Carlton, with a player streaming down the ground, have not capitalised. Carey finds Scholl. Back to Carey. Carey probably out in the full, yes.
Just on that last bit of play though, Peter, it's making it very hard for the Carlton backman to actually get an open space in the forward line when John Longmire is drifting into that 35-metre up into Carlton's forward line.
Ratton finds Murphy. Here's Silvani running off Carey. Silvani, a low trajectory kick. Whitnell just a little bit too high for him, taken by McKernan. Up in the air, Silvani caught at the back, but it was a mark to Beaumont. Beaumont to Murphy. A very crowded forward line. Murphy chips it low, but there's a lot of... It's lost by Longmire. Bounce! This is a goal. Longmire has misread it. Didn't see it in the sun, and it's a goal.
And there was a 2-on-1 option there too, and he couldn't actually pick the ball up because of the sun, and made it very difficult for him. But Justin Murphy, with a little bit of luck here, kicks the ball up to the goal square there. John Longmire shielding his hands from the sun and couldn't see the ball. It bounces, does a left-hand turn there, and a goal.
Well, very rarely would you ever see that in a game of football. As we look again, what's this?
It's a comedy of errors, but gets Carlton back into the game by 18 points.
Extraordinary scenes here at Optus Oval. That was one of the goals of the year. Circumstances have prevailed here to create one of the most unusual goals that I've ever seen in footy. Bounce down in the middle. Matt Allen does well, gets the ball down his way. This time it's Campriali getting the ball around the corner. Overrides it does Jason McCartney. King has been dragged down from behind. Wasn't given enough opportunity. Umpire calls play on. Beaumont at the bottom of the pack. And it'll be wrapped up. And another bounce down.
I reckon Silvani, Gerard, and Paul has been fantastic today. Now that chase was sensational.
Yeah, great leader with Steve Silvani. Just his work ethic in and around the ground, sensational.
Bounce down on the logo. McKernan over the top. Ratton impeded by Stevens. He's wrapped up. Allen gets it through the left foot, just scrubbing it forward. Nice knockout by Pickett on Rice. Carey from behind, playing the defender on Silvani, the forward, which is completely opposite to how they started the match ball.
That's exactly right, Jared. But the Carlton's work ethic, they're getting in and under and they're prepared to flick the ball out, keep it alive and keep pushing it forward. So their work ethic's really good, Carlton.
And that gentleman on screen still can't believe that last goal.
Well, it certainly brought the crowd to life. Now, we've seen a lot of packs today. Hume gives it off. Here's Fraser Brown. Chipping. Look at that crowded forward line. Two North players. Carey and his teammate there, and McCartney thumped that away. Look at the packs developing, and again, it's more like a rugby match at the moment.
It's just these blustery conditions, Peter. You can see the ball just hold up in the air there, making it very hard for players to judge it, and that's what you're going to get all day with just the wind making the ball swirl around.
There's no doubt that Dennis Pagan has been more willing to crowd his defensive area going against the wind than David Parker.
So Camparelli to Ronnie DiUlio. Pierce a chance. This should be a goal on the bend. It is wide again and one behind. I thought that might be almost a lay down there then.
It's pretty hard work. Good work by Brian Prickett there to put pressure on Pierce there.
So the kick in will be by Shannon Grant. A lovely kicking style, Grant. In towards half-back, no mark. He's Brett Chandler racing away with the ball to half forward. A one-on-one contest and a good mark to Glenn Manton.
Well judged.
Very good mark on a one-on-one. Now he's got loose players in the middle. He's electing to go down the outer side of the ground to the half-forward area. Pack develops. Silvani, centre of the pack. Thumped away by Carey. Taken by Pickett. To the half-forward line. Oh, good mark. And that was by Pickett. The kick in by Abraham in towards goal. Drives it low and a top goal.
Yeah, it's great work there by North Melbourne. Marked by Scholl there, Jared.
Well, I think it was Was it
Hewitt?
Simpson?
It
was Hewitt, was it?
Hewitt gave it off. I said Pickett. It was
yeah. Well,
Hewitt
there's
who gave it off.
Byron Pickett there, and a big jump.
And Scott Welsh.
Yeah, it was Scott Welsh.
He's taken a number of great marks today. Feeds the ball off to Winston Abraham. This is what North Melbourne have done though. They've pushed all their players, all their forward players, into Carlton's centre and back line there, and they're running the ball up through their own forward line. There wasn't anybody in the 50-metre arc there for North Melbourne, and good work by Winston Abraham. Generally
relies on just one player taking a mark. So the ball bounced down in the centre again. McKernan just not timing it all that well at the present time. Allen does well, gets it to Julio. Scrubber kick into space, and it's going to be effective because Dean Rice is on his own. He's got some support from his teammate in Camporeale, who was impeded, but advantage has been paid. Looking for Justin Murphy, who couldn't really do much other than push it forward. Beaumont comes in. He's on his wrong foot. Gets it onto the right now. Looking for some a forward to be in front. It was intended for Koutafidis, but dropping back was John Longmire.
Anthony Rock. Oh, good mark. Halfback for Northview. They look far more dangerous when they go into attack. This is Blakey.
They're happy to hold the ball up, Pete. They're just working the clock.
Yeah, till they get that running player through midfield, and then they run it down that forward line 100 mile an hour.
Is that another mark by Scott Welsh? It's a great effort there to launch himself at the ball, and he's been fantastic in the air today.
I think it might have been Simpson, Adam Simpson there in that pack. But it's on centre wing. Doing the ruck work there is McCartney. Beaumont is there and Hume. And they're terrific, Paul, at gang tackling, North Melbourne, aren't they?
Yeah, they work the ball. Anthony Stevens, one of the experts at North Melbourne, but they're closing the area down on Carlton. They're not giving them space to work in.
So centre wing, Carlton really need to get a burst of 2 or 3 goals. There's DiIulio, tackle again by Chandler. Hume, a quick hand pass over the line, centre wing for a throw-in.
Interesting tactics by Carlton. They're dragging Steve Silvani down to full forward, trying to get Carey away from centre half back. But then Carey went out to stand on Lance Whitnell, who's with John Longmire at the moment. Ball on the centre wing, out of side here. Bell comes through. Nice handball, gets it to Simpson. He in turn gets it forward. It's this time underneath the ball was Scotty Welsh, but Glenn Manton off the ground gets the ball going his way. Big long bomb from the Blues, and it was a pretty ordinary kick by Scotty Beaumont. And the ball out of bounds to be thrown in mid on centre wing.
Being that the Carlton forward line's so congested, Jared, I'd like to see Anthony Koutafidis up on the ball and get him in around the play there. Get him involved, play him in the ruck.
And Barry Richardson will be saying Simon Beaumont's just got to find one of his teammates with that ball. Through comes Brett Ratton, been a good player for the Blues today. Heads towards centre half forward, a crowded half forward line with Wayne Carey. Nice hands from Shannon Grant. Gets the ball to the running Byron Pickett. He's a creative player. Wasn't a great handball, but Brent Harvey's got enough time to run. He's taken 2 bounces. He's going all the way looking for the big sticks. And another great goal to North Melbourne, running the ball through midfield, and Byron Pickett at the start of it all. North Melbourne career away to 9-7, leading Carlton, who are 4-8-32.
It's great punch here by Wayne Carey to get the ball. Front and square was David King. Great work by Byron Pickett again, and Brent Harvey working the ball through the midfield there. That's what Carlton, North Melbourne have done the last 2 times there, and a great goal by Harvey again. Just working the ball up through the wind, pushing all their players, the half forward North Melbourne, down into Carlton's back line, making it very difficult for Carlton to kick goals.
In the under-18 competition, he was well known for running and bouncing, kicking goals. So again, Brian Sheehan bounces the ball. Crunch time for Carlton now. They're down by 5 goals as McCartney belts it to the forward line, and the ever-reliable Michael Sexton's taken the mark here. Now he's ignoring the options on this side of the ground. He goes out to Beaumont. He's got to improve his disposal. That's better. Short chip kick finds Fraser Brown, but that forward line is just so crowded. Carey's actually back on his own, deep in defence. Silvani's gone forward. Carey's at the back. Rice, and then McKernan and Carey were there, and they only had Dean Rice to beat.
The great wall of North Melbourne, including McKernan, Carey, John Longmire. Fancy having the ball 100 metres from goal and trying to penetrate those 3.
Well, what Carlton to stop this though is go more direct to goal. Like they keep going out in the wings. Let's attack the goal quickly and get North Melbourne out of position there. They had plenty of time there to push all their half forwards and wingers down into Carlton's defence.
Another throw in on centre wing, just favouring the Carlton end. A nice kick from Peter Bell, who took the ball from the ruckwork. And that's a pretty important kick and an effective one, because that will run the clock down and allow North Melbourne to just push a few more players into their forward line. Fraser Brown with 18 possessions. Robert Scott just the 3. Once again, a boundary throw in. Centre wing, McCartney versus Koutafidis. It was McCartney who got the ball down, but Brett Ratton just sitting on his defensive hip. And he's wrapped up by Anthony Stevens. Dennis Pagan, as always, giving the gum a nice old working over with the telephone at the ready. Big bounce, big jump once again by both ruckmen. Brett Ratton once again gets the ball across the boundary line. As we have a look at the Carlton bench.
I love a wide screen here and show all the North Melbourne players down in Carlton's forward area. There's 36 players from the centre line down to Carlton's full forward line.
Koutafidis and McCartney. Koutafidis takes the front spot, bursts away. This is what the Blues need. A bit of magic from Anthony Koutafidis. Onto the left foot, looking for Rice, but he runs into a picket fence in Byron. Byron gets up quickly, plays the ball wide to his skipper in Wayne Carey, who's burst away. He wants a bounce. He's got Longmire shepherding for him. Now it's the 2-on-1. Good work from Longmire. Allows his captain in Carey to take plenty of time and deliver the ball effectively. Rock hasn't got an opponent at the moment. Just cruises along. He's looking for the big fly at the centre. Over the back came the North Melbourne player in Welsh. He couldn't affect the mark. And it's taken over the boundary line, deep in North Melbourne's forward line.
You didn't have a lot to kick to there, Jared. Anthony Rock.
No, and he's fallen heavily on that shoulder. May well have popped an AC joint, Pete.
Commonly known as a crook shoulder. Forward pocket for North. Here's Rock around the corner. The bounce. Oh, almost came back and through for a behind. So North doing it on the bit at the moment. They're cruising. They're 5 goals in front. And the biggest problem for Carlton is they just cannot score a goal at the moment. That's going down their end. North are crowding their forward, the Carlton forward line with big players. Carey's down there. McKernan's getting back. Carlton finding it nigh on impossible to kick a goal. This is Andrew McKay, who's had a fine year. Oh, he's chipping it in low. It's no mark. Ratton. Camporelli back to Ratton. Oh, so just too slow to get his boot to the ball. It was a terrific tackle by Stevens. Hume. Fraser Brown's got it. Let's see what they can do now, the Blues. They've got a chance with Brown kicking it low. Good kick to Silvani. That's better.
And that's what we're talking about, Peter. More direct to goal, not to go out wide to the wings there. Be more direct in their play. And Fraser Brown, a great pass to Steve Silvani, and that's probably their best bit of play there by Carlton in this quarter. Got it down quickly. North Melbourne didn't have the chance to flood the Carlton forward line, and good play by Fraser Brown to use the ball beautifully.
Well, Silvani is not a really long kick. He's kicking from 50. That doesn't look too bad off the boot. And just wide and forced through by Carey. 4A behind of the Blues. There he is, Steve Silvani, named as the greatest fullback ever in the history of the game in that All-Star side. So it's a big rap, and he is a great player, as we see David King about to bring it back in. So King to a pack of players. Must be about 18 players around that ball. Hits the deck. Scholl probably enjoying his little stay in defence. Here's Longmire. Quick hand pass again. Look at the pack development. A well played Silvani to Rice. That was fantastic. They need a goal.
Yes.
And this might be it after terrific play by Silvani. Yes, goal.
Great play by Steve Silvani to get in under. You know, he's a tall man, but works terribly hard today. Keep the ball alive. Second effort again to get in under and work the ball forward again, and Dean Rice doesn't let him down here with his great work ethic. Second effort's been fantastic, and he's played a great game today. Silvani kept Wayne Carey out of the game, which is not easy to do, and his work has been nothing but sensational. He's done a couple of great tackles, beat 2-on-1 option early in this quarter, and it's been fantastic.
So the fullback of the century sets up that last goal. You would have still got half a dozen on him, Pete. 9-8 to 62 to 5-9 39.
I coached him at school, Jerry. Marcelin College.
Big bounce down in the middle of the ground, and a pretty good one once again. McKernan just avoiding the clash there, and it was Allen who pushed it forward. Abraham at the bottom works the ball backwards to a teammate in Rock. He's looking forward in the centre of the ground for Peter Bell, who doesn't let him down. And running with a flight of the ball, takes a pretty fair chest mark. Short chip kick. North Melbourne doing well, trying to just work the ball up into this gale of a wind, which is favouring the end to which Carlton kicks. McCartney goes long, looking for one of his tools down there in the forward line. At the back of the pack once again, a bloke that's had a very big game in Adam Simpson, who is very much
look-alike, isn't he?
Like
to
Scott Welsh.
Yes, very much look-alike.
And together they've had a fair game and a great impact on the result of this match.
I thought there might have been a little push on Sexton there for him to take that mark, Jared, though.
Well, he's got away with it, and as far as he's concerned, that's all that counts. He comes in on the left and just wobbles a mongrel drop pump through for a quick reply by North Melbourne.
Yes, good kick by Jason McCartney there to kick the ball long into the forward line, put the pressure on the Carlton defenders. And it was a great mark, great judge mark by Adam Simpson in this swirling breeze.
And that's the beauty of both Welsh and Simpson. They're both very good, very handy overhead. Got a lot of talent, good at ground level, and also very good marks.
So again, that lead around about the 5-goal mark. Difficult for Carlton to get back in it, particularly as they'll be coming home into the breeze. Here's a free kick to Anthony Rock. He doesn't mess around. He kicks it quickly to the half-forward line, thumped away by Sexton. McKay playing for the free kick. He's caught, didn't have a chance to get rid of it, and sensible umpiring to come in and bounce the ball.
Actually, with this ball holding up, Sexton's better off to play in front of his man and take the risk.
Definitely. So the bounce just inside 50, North Melbourne's forward zone. Here's Ratton, who's been very good. On to Sexton. Another poor kick out of defence. Here's Archer racing after Francine. Oh, that's kicking in danger, surely.
Once again, Paul, it was a kick to the half-forward flank.
Not going direct and making it very hard. Now, North Melbourne, you see all their players flood that boundary throw and make it very difficult to Carlton to score in this last couple of minutes. So they'll struggle to score with this crowd of play that North Melbourne wants.
That's Rock. Damien Locke, Ronnie DiIulio drives now. Here's a chance. One-on-one. Silvani and Carey. And Carey won that one-on-one contest. A terrific battle. And I'd say Silvani's had the honours so far in this game. He was forced, well, Dennis Pagan was forced to move Carey to the back line, which says a lot for Silvani. Scholl to the half-back line, punched away by Sexton. Chandler flips it over the back. Brent Harvey, run down from behind. Play on, said the umpire. Didn't have enough time. Here's Koutafidis receiving from Locke. Again, Carey and Silvani. Mark! Looks like Hamill has come across the front of the McKernan and taken a very, very good mark.
And once again, Carlton quickly into their forward line, giving them a chance there. There was a 3-on-2 option though, but a great judge mark by Hamill, and that's what they need, Carlton. Get the ball down quickly. Don't go so wide to the half-forward flank of the wing. Play a bit more direct and give their forwards a chance and not let North Melbourne flood that defensive 50.
Aaron Hamill for his first of the game from directly in front, and here's goal.
And Koutafidis looked a little bit more dangerous in there, in through the centre play there. That's what he needs to do. Give him the ball, give him the option, give him some confidence, and a good mark by Hamill. But that's what Carlton needs more of. Koutafidis in around the centre square there to get his confidence up and get him attacking the ball hard and brushing players off like we know he can do.
What they don't need is injuries, and at the moment Lance Whitnell on the boundary line receiving some treatment to a back. Maybe it's tightened up in the hamstring areas, but Carlton, who have been ravaged somewhat by injuries this season, have got another one down. So a pretty fair bounce in the middle of the ground. A Longmire versus Allen. It was Allen who won it pretty conclusively. Off the back of the square runs David King, who probably wouldn't be all that happy with the kick because he had a bit more time to set it up. Sexton took the mark. It was on to Locke. Locke goes into the centre of the ground. He's looking for Brett Ratton. He's found him. A pretty good kick. And Ratton continues to rack up the possessions. Gets the ball onto one of the quicker players for the Blues in Ronnie DiIulio. He backs back. A poor kick from DiIulio. Luckily, he's got Clapper, who whips the ball down on the left foot, looking for Silvani. A good battle down there between Silvani and Carey. And I think it'd be rare that Silvani comes up against a player who's stronger than him in the one-on-one battles, in the physical duels, but Carey would certainly be that. And the ball just trundled through for another point to Carlton. They're 6-10, North Melbourne. 10-8, and they are kicking at the present time into a pretty fair breeze. At the bottom of the pack, Chandler. He was looking for the boundary line, as was Peter Bell, who should be penalised. And Bell indicating he was taken high, and perhaps he was looking for the free kick. So Steve Silvani with 12 possessions up against in a head-to-head battle Wayne Carey with 10. As probably first half honours goes to Silvani, but I think Carey's probably had the better of the duel in this third quarter. Bell drives the ball long. At the back was Abraham. He's going to lay a tackle. A good tackle indeed on Sexton, but luck's a fortune. The kick from Sexton comes up the lock.
Lang gets it across the ground to Lang. Lang about 70 metres from goal. So Lang just on the ground. Silvani, yes, no. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Good play by Carey to spoil. And Franchina on the left has put it out of bounds on the full. So not a good kick. He should have been bending it back in front of the top of the square.
It makes it very easy for the North Melbourne defenders in Wayne Carey just to push that ball out wide and making a very hard shot for Franchina. Possibly should have went to the goal square. On a one-on-one situation, you're better off to go long to the goals.
So the kick in is by Blakey to the halfback area. Hume, he should be trying to kick it, not handball, but it might come off because Lang's got it. Now he needs it to bounce to the right, sneaks it in for one behind, but again, not a lot of thinking there. I know under pressure, young Hume probably didn't know he was free.
It's just an awareness thing, Pete. As soon as you get clear out of a pack, how many times you see players get run down? Not very often.
Shannon Grant, that's a very, very good mark by Hamill. He's pretty good overhead for his size, but again, he's got a kick to a crowded forward line, and in front was Chandler to thump it over the line.
There's no point kicking to that left-hand pocket there. Like, there's no point. You're putting yourself under pressure, makes it too hard to kick goals. A low percentage play.
McKernan in the front, gets the ball down, but only to Darren Hume. Through comes Brown, looking for an option. He finds Rice, hooks the ball round. He's already kicked one goal from that corner, but not this time, out of bounds. In fact, he snuck it through for one behind. So the Blues are just withering away at this scoreline, but only by points, and it's 6-12 to 10-8. David King to bring the Roos back into attack. He's not all that unhappy about wasting the time, and he'll get the hurry up from the umpire shortly. This time he goes to the outer side. It's a long kick, not many options. Big fly from, I think it was Simpson, could well have been Welsh. By golly, they look alike.
They do, Jared, and once again, North Melbourne are prepared to flood Carlton's forward line, and there's about 36 players just inside and just outside the 50-metre arc. There's no one past the centre line for North Melbourne.
Or Carlton, for that matter.
Well, that should have been a free kick to Dean Rice, and it was paid against Byron Piggott, who was decapitated as Pearce comes off for Justin Murphy.
Well, I tell you what, he is a huge kick, Dean Rice. I reckon the distance, he might be able to make it, even though it's 55 metres. Jared?
Well, I think you're dead right, Peter. With this assistance of a big win, in comes Rice, who kicks the ball high. Doesn't quite make the distance. In the goal square is McKernan. Plenty of assistance. Poor play, though. Gets the ball down to a couple of Carlton players in Silvani and Hume. Great recovery work there by the skipper and Carey, who gets the ball onto Rock. Anthony Rock drives the ball out of trouble, but only as far as Manton for the Blues, who takes a good chest mark across the half-forward line.
Been a very good player over the years for Carlton after coming across from Essendon. Camporelli. 70 metres from goal, but again they've got the tall players down there in McKernan and Longmire. Now he's going in short here. That's a good kick, a very good kick, and good play by young Damien Lang to get himself in that hole there, because if it was kicked up high, they had no hope against those tall North blokes.
So to just wait for a lead, and that's what he did. It was a great kick by Camporelli, who's got very good skills. And Lang, who's come on in this third quarter, he's done quite a good job here. It's on his third possession.
He needs to kick this. He has to kick it 50 metres with the aid of the breeze. It is out to the right, stays out there, and one behind only. So certainly they haven't kicked well, Carlton. They've missed some sitters. That was pretty difficult from way out there. 6-13 to 10-8. Off goes David King. He loves to kick it to himself and run off. Should be a Manton mark. He couldn't quite hang on to it. Chandler helps it on its way over the line. Half forward for Carlton.
So the big possession winners, Brett Ratton with 24, Brown 20, Beaumont 18, Rock 18, and Peter Bell with 17. There's another one for Brown. It went to the feet of Manton, though. He does well to pick the ball up. Could have been paid for incorrect disposal. Bell at the bottom of the pack. Handball inboard, gets shouled. This will go back to Bell, who looks to go up the centre of the ground. He finds Jason McCartney, who continues to play on. They're running the ball out well now, North Melbourne, through the agency of Glenn Archer, who has nobody up forward, and he looks for the boundary line in front of the players' area, and he finds it fairly successfully as Ronnie DeUlio runs into the North Melbourne bench.
It's an intelligent play by Glenn Archer, because North Melbourne, all their half forward, their full forward line was up through the midfield of Carlton's end.
It's North Melbourne by 19 points. John Longmire took the front spot. Simpson got the ball to McCartney, who drives the ball wide. He's looking for Welsh to run onto this. Manton was impeded, could have been a free kick. Through comes Mackay. He kicks the ball intelligently off the ground, but it's Rock, who struggles to pick it up. This time he does. He's being tracked by Brown. Rock with the left foot, gets the ball to Welsh. Should have been a free kick, but Welsh keeps the ball playing. It's a dribbly little kick, could be an intelligent one, but it doesn't bounce to the right and go to the top of the square. It went through for a behind.
Paul, what would you do with Koutafidis, because he's having no influence on this game whatsoever at the moment?
I'd play him on the ball, or what I would do is get him to follow another player and try and get him who's got a lot of the ball, and just work him into the play, use his body strength to get him back into it on a ball getter. Work him on Peter Bell, or even a little player, just because he has got mobility.
Here's Manton down towards Franchina. Socket off the ground. They've knocked this up, Carlton. Let's see what McKay can do. Gets in a hand pass to Locke. Here's Aaron Hamill driving it to again. They've got that loose man back across that half-back line. This time it's McKernan just floating across and taking the mark. Blakey's on his own. So Blakey, an up and under kick to centre wing, waiting for a high flyer. No one there to take it. Harvey. No, it's not. It's Adam Simpson. And he takes it across the line. But Carlton really making no indent on this North Melbourne side at the moment.
Can't see him winning here from Pete, especially when North Melbourne's got the wind in the last quarter.
Look at that. Past 11 games, they haven't kicked more than 100 points in a match, Carlton. Well, no wonder they're not winning games, as the siren sounds to end the third term, where North Melbourne, Gerard, seem to be doing it on the bit.
Yeah, I think they're doing a pretty good job of maybe a tradesman-like performance, this North Melbourne. They're certainly not at their very best, but they're doing everything they have to. And with a 20-point lead at three-quarter time and coming home with a 5-goal victory, it's difficult to see anything but a North Melbourne victory after three-quarter time.
So the start of the final term here at Optus Oval, a 20-point margin in favour of North Melbourne, but they are kicking with the breeze. A huge task awaiting Carlton in this game, as we see Anthony Rock kick it down towards half-forward line. Chandler and McKay race after. McKay's tried his heart out, gets his boot to the ball, swings it out wide. He's got a player who came on the ground at the end of that third term, Damien Lang, loping after that ball, but it beats him over.
He's a great player on one-on-one contests there, but he just wanted the ball more than anybody else and dragged it with one arm and kicked to the boundary line. Intelligent play.
Nearly beaten their best player all year, Andrew McKay. Here's Fraser Brown, who's had plenty of the football, but again, every time you see Paul, a Carlton player, come up with the ball, there's about 4 or 5 North players surrounding him.
They're fantastic at it. Chandler, Stevens, they're all good at that. Pickett just locks them up.
21 possessions to Fraser Brown. Hewitt gets rid of his direct opponent, Matt Allen, and umpire Scott McLaren says he's infringed. So Matthew Allen, who sat it out on the bench until half-time, drives the ball long. Wayne Carey has worked his way well and truly into this game, and a very good mark coming across the front of the pack. The best centre-half forward in the competition, perhaps the best of all time, currently playing at centre-half back, and he's matched up against the best centre-half back of the century, the best fullback of the century. Through comes Winston Abraham. He's been electrifying, but he's taken too long, and that umpire is a free kick. There was plenty of prior opportunity. Peter Bell runs in, and that is a goal to North Melbourne that should never have been.
Well, if they're consistent, you're right, Gerard, it should have been pinged.
We saw one in the first quarter. It was very, very hot, and it was given against Carlton.
Well, just have a look. I'd say that's prior opportunity. Yeah. No kick whatsoever. Great tackle by Ronnie. And Peter Bell said, well, there's no whistle. I'll go through and kick it on the left. I wonder what Peter Swab would have
Peter
to say
Swab's
about
going,
that one.
50-50, but there was plenty of prior opportunity there.
No, if they were consistent, that should have been pinged.
It's a great little player, Peter Bell. He's very much the opportunist, and that's a great goal again.
Ball back in the centre. Let's hear from the best full forward of the century.
So Brian Sheehan bounces. McKernan, well, couldn't quite get his hand to it. Now, here's Damien Locke. Good lead this time. Oh, Kudafiti. Well, he eventually gets it, but hasn't played well at all. Locke in towards full forward. Good mark by Silvani. That's been intriguing.
It's been a great battle all day, hasn't
terrific.
it? It's been fantastic. It's been one of the highlights of the game today. Silvani up against Carey. Two great players.
Well,
I've really enjoyed their battle today, Peter.
Well, we must remember that Carey had to be moved to the back line off Silvani, which says a lot for Stephen's ability. There's a kick by Steve Silvani, and he's kicked a well-deserved goal.
He's wobbled it through, but it was good. Kudafiti wasn't all that flat out of the ball. Picked it up beautifully off the ground there, fed the ball off. Great body work by Silvani. And once again, that great battle between Silvani and Carey has been a highlight, and a great goal by Stephen Silvani.
Well, things not looking too good for Lance Whitnell. He is just hobbling along the boundary line, so perhaps Carlton will be without Pearce and Whitnell next week because they're looking in fairly ordinary shape. North Melbourne, 11-9-75, 20 points in front of Carlton, 55. Ball back in the centre of the ground. Hewitt to do battle against Matthew Allen. Allen would have a height advantage. It's a good bounce down, but this time it's Allen. Got the ball to Ratton. Quick kick out of the centre. Coming through was Ronda Ulio. Pushed down to, well, it wasn't Ronda Ulio, it was Franchina who infringed against Shannon Grant, and he gets the free kick.
I think he tripped himself up then, Jared.
Well, he gets the ball to King. King once again goes long, finds Hewitt. Ball bounces off his chest. Chest marking hasn't been a feature of the match, it's fair to say. Sexton onto the left, was smothered. A poor piece of disposal. John Longmire just drives the ball to the top of the square. Brett Chandler runs onto it. He's in front of Scott Camporelli, but the ball, the bounce,
deliberate.
No, deliberate.
The bounce favoured Camporelli. He went bang straight across the line, and he cannot believe that he's been pinged for deliberate.
So you've got to try and
He didn't have much option.
Well, let's just have a look at this on replay.
It was a battle against Chandler and Camporelli. You can't say he did it on deliberate. You've got to punch the ball away from Chandler. What are you going to do? Leave the ball in the midfield?
Boomerang from Chandler to rub salt into the wound. That's an absolute corker. So North Melbourne have kicked two quick goals in this term, both on the end of controversial decisions. One a deliberate out of bounds, the other one a non-decision that perhaps could have gone the other way.
Prior opportunity there, Jared, the first one. But here there's just a contest between two players. And what else is Scott Camporelli going to do? He's going towards the boundary line. He's got to punch the ball somewhere. He can't punch it back into North Melbourne's forward line. Give the defenders a chance.
Well, I tend to agree with you. 9 times out of 10, or 99 times out of 100, and the crowd's still hooting. 99 times out of 100, that'd be a throw-in, wouldn't it?
Definitely. Scott Camporelli's got no chance.
So it's tapped down in the centre. Hewitt was there, and Adam Simpson kicked away for North Melbourne by Anthony Stevens to the half-forward line. Here's Winston Abraham. He's a great kick, and that is a magnificent kick. This will bounce through, or will Longmire grab it? He will. Goal.
Just the difference between the two forward lines. Carlton's forward line in the third quarter was all stacked up by the North Melbourne players. Even their forward line was coming down into Carlton's forward line.
But have a look here, Paul. You'll find that North Melbourne have pushed their players all the way up the ground. They've done this all quarter and instructed their midfielders to kick the ball over the head to the top of the square. They've run onto it, and Johnny the Horse Longmire said, well, I'll just dribble that one through for another goal today.
And Longmire is the only person in North Melbourne's 50-metre arc, Jared, making it more open for North Melbourne and a better chance to kick goals.
So back we go to the centre. Very difficult now for Carlton. They have struggled to kick goals, and you can't see them kicking enough to win. And North Melbourne may even get on a bit of a roll here and swamp Carlton. Here's Ratton, who's tried his heart out. The centre wing, nice mark taken by Dean Rice. Rice chips it wide. Kudafidis has been very, very quiet. Into the pocket, Silvani still working hard. Out in front of Carey. In fact, it was Archer on that occasion, and chips it in. Well played, Steve Silvani, to Matthew Allen.
Two good disposals by Carlton there, which we haven't seen a lot of today. Kudafidis to Silvani to Allen, and he's just going to pull the socks up there and put on a more acute angle, which the Carlton supporters are not happy about.
And they're still hooting, the Blues supporters. Now, here's Matty Allen, 45-degree angle. He's a left footer. He'll probably swing it left to right. It's a high ball, and I think he has kicked this. Let's wait on the goal umpire. Yes, it's a goal.
A bit better play by Carlton here. Silvani up against Glenn Archer. Prepared to lead into the pocket there. Great delivery by Kudafidis, and that's just what Carlton needed. A bit better delivery use and better percentage play. Just waited for a lead there. Silvani waits, chips the ball up into space, and Allen takes a nice mark.
Matthew Allen, after kicking that goal, prepares to once again do battle against Evan Hewitt in the middle of the ground. 20,636 people are here at Optus Oval today, witnessing the side North Melbourne on 5th on the ladder at the end of round 8 against the Blues, who are currently pushing up the rest of the field in 16th. Free kick against Rice, surely for a push in the back. And listen to the crowd, listen to the Blues faithful here. Appreciate that result.
They finally got a free kick, Carlton. They battled hard all day.
And no doubt about that one.
Indiscriminate.
Lock on the left, looking up forward. Silvani pushing the back, must be a free kick, not paid. Gives it to Archer, across to Shannon Grant on his preferred left foot. Brown does battle with Rock. Ball goes to the back of the pack. Lane gets the ball across the top looking for Murphy. Wasn't good work. That was by Winston Abraham, who whacked it into space. Quick left-hand handball finds Rock, who does well. Gets the mongrel forward. John Longmire, he's got a free man in Abraham, who goes to the ground. But so too does Ronnie DeJulio. Abraham quicker to recover and goes through with a big one.
And I don't think David Park would be all that happy about that, because I think Ron DeJulio's got moulded soles on. And in any important game, it's vitally important that you keep your feet at all stages, and both players slipped over.
Tell me not an important game where you should be wearing moulded.
You should be wearing stops all the time, screw-ins, and always just to get some grip on the ground, Jared. It's just terrible play there. And he gets up first, Winston Abraham makes it an easy goal.
Well, that was just unbelievable. You see, every year you see a half a dozen goals created because players are wearing moulded soles.
Got to keep your feet.
So back to the centre. Allen, well, they both miss it really. Ratton to Murphy, he's caught. Had a prior opportunity to get rid of it. Adam Simpson. Now Camporelli. Fraser Brown has it knocked away. In fact, it was Hume having it knocked away by Chandler. Here's Locke. Now Carey, he cleverly goes. Now was that deliberate?
And he's
the umpires, I reckon they were conned in because of the one down the other end. Here's Dean Rice receiving from Ratton. Down at Carey couldn't believe it. There's Hewitt. Now Bell. Bell to the centre of the ground. McKernan almost to throw that. Here's Andrew McKay. He's caught. Loses it. That could be holding the ball. Now Allen. Now Kudafidis. And the crowd erupting. That was quite humorous because I'm sure that was a square up. Here's Rice receiving from Locke. The left foot kick comes down to the pocket. Silvani working overtime down there. He's hotly pressed by two North Melbourne players, but across the line for a throw-in.
Just too much handball in through the midfield by Carlton. Poor old Steve Silvani. North Melbourne players dropping back on him, making it very hard for him to get space.
Turnovers, 16 to Carlton, 8 to North Melbourne. Here's Silvani battling against that strong North defence. Hume, Camporelli smothered off the boot. Here comes Archer with his eyes only for the ball as he breaks away and drives to the centre of the ground. Hewitt underneath it as mark. So danger here because Longmire's racing back. If he can move it quickly, Hewitt. He's one-on-one. He's got to kick it now. Longmire's one-on-one with Sexton. And now it'll come to Longmire. Look at that, easy as you like. Very, very poor defence by the Carlton Football Club. Not to get numbers back to help Michael Sexton.
Oh, certainly wasn't good play, Peter. And Longmire's done a pretty good job on Michael Sexton. He was a very good player. I don't feel as though Michael Sexton's very comfortable playing fullback. I think he's better off at centre half back where he can judge the ball and attack a bit more. He seems a bit more hesitant to go forward, and Longmire's doing all the play here, playmaking. It's a good kick by Hewitt to chip it out in front to John Longmire. Great kick, and the better use by North Melbourne certainly hurt Carlton today.
So Johnny Longmire has kicked 3. I think this is his best position down at full forward. He's normally an accurate kick. Look at that. Goal. 4 goals to the full forward. Longmire, I'm sure he's more comfortable in front of goal.
He certainly is. He's played a lot better. His ruck's not his best position, but he's worked very hard today. He's taken a couple of nice marks, judged the ball pretty well in this swirly wind, and it was a great kick by Hewitt. Let out beautifully, and Michael Sexton just struggled, but it was poor play by the Carlton defenders not to push down and help out Sexton to block the hole in front of John Longmire.
Well, Allen against Hewitt. Hewitt's had a pretty good quarter. This time it's Porter. Allen has been pushed up the ground, I believe. Through comes Rock, but he's taken out of the play. At the base of the pack, kicked off the ground. Players throwing themselves on. One was Rice. Through coming forward for North Melbourne was Harvey. Ball ricochets over to Murphy. Ratton gets his umpteenth possession for the quarter. He got it to Koutafidis. Clappe with the football. Member of the 1995 Premiership side, but things have been a little bit quiet for him with injury ever since. Murphy gets the ball to Ratton. He's got plenty of possession today, has Brett Ratton. 2 against 1. Brown got the better bounce. Gets the left-hand handball. Gets the ball out to Lang. Sets it up for Brown once again, who just hooks one round the corner. And with that spiral, with that spin on it, it was never going through the goals. And Wayne Carey just helped it across for a behind. North Melbourne 15-9, leading Carlton 8-14. 22 scoring shots to 24. So perhaps Carlton, if they hadn't made a little bit more of their chances in the first quarter, would be in a far more competitive position than they are at the moment. On centre wing, it's Damien Lang once again. Got a couple of possessions since coming off the bench. Gets the ball on to Aaron Hamill, who looks a real athlete, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a good player. Hamill takes a nice strong mark. Good half forward for Carlton.
Koutafidis at the back. Murphy stayed down. Snap kick, goal.
Actually, it was good work by Koutafidis. Last 5 to 10 minutes, he's had a few possessions, and it was good to see him launch himself against 2 North players there, just to put himself in a contest. And Justin Murphy, who's always an opportunist, out the back there and kicked a nice right foot snap goal. And that's what you need more of Anthony Koutafidis. They put him in around the ball, in around centre half forward there to work up and down the ground to give him more space to work in, and he's done pretty well in this last 5 minutes, Koutafidis. He's had 3 or 4 touches, and hopefully we get a bit of form in this last 10 to 15 minutes.
So again, we see the centre bounce. Well done by Porter to fly over the back. But here's the dashing Byron Pickett. He should kick it on the left. He will. The bounce is important here. Abraham's got a couple to beat, but he's quick. The bounce will favour Sexton. Longmire harassing. Here's Winston Abraham. Cleverly done. Now, can they mark it? I think Rocker's marked just inside. Oh, look at the loose men. He can give it off. He turned his back. Now he gives it off. 3 options. And racing in the goal and kicking the goal is Harvey.
I mean, he's got to go back.
No, he's got to go back and kick over the mark. He's blown time on.
Do you reckon Winston Abraham was passing there, or was he having a shot?
It's a tight one, wasn't it? He might have been trying to pass it.
Only W. Abraham would know.
No, I think he went for a shot there.
I think he might have had a bit of goals floating in the nostrils.
Inside 50 though, you should go for your goals.
Well,
so
not when there's a player free in the goal spread.
So Rock, a left foot snap across the face. He might have just snuck it in there for a behind. He has.
You can't. Carlton have tried all day though, haven't they? Really, they've been competitive. It's just their turnovers and just the lack of indirect play. It's probably been the difference between North Melbourne and Carlton today. They've had a go. The desire's been good.
Julio, short, Ratton, Brown, Camporelli, almost gets unloaded. Here's McKernan, now Pickett, tapped it back. That was cleverly done. Hume, Hamill, and it was a free kick in the meantime. The way of North Melbourne, it'll go to Pickett. And obviously caught one in the back in that contest. So Byron Pickett played with Port Adelaide reserves in a number of games. Now pack developing here at half-forward. Mackay, I should say, went the punch. Now here's Hewitt. And he has kicked a brilliant goal.
He's a likely type, isn't he, Hewitt? He's got a bit of skill for a tall ruckman. It just gives the opportunity for North Melbourne to balance up properly with Longmire, Carey and McKernan. And they're going to be hard to beat when it comes finals time, especially with another good tall player in Hewitt. Fantastic player there, and he's done a bit of damage since he's been on. He's played all right, playing in the ruck. He's had a few possessions this quarter, and it's been very effective. Nice pass to Longmire the time before to get a goal, and it's a great play by Hewitt again to score a goal.
He's been pretty impressive in his...
Yeah, he's nice. Oh, he's a nice type of player.
Well, let's see how he goes against Porter. Well, they just poleaxe each other. Who's that against, umpire?
Now, who's going to...
Well, how you pick one out from there is beyond me. It looked to me as if Porter had just didn't even jump off the ground. And Porter got the free kick. He drives the ball long. Lots of crowd noise in the background. Silvani couldn't take it. At the base of the pack was Wayne Carey. North Melbourne player down behind play. And he looks a little bit crook. Round the corner was Camberelli. Going forward, and a pretty good mark, which has been paid to Damien Lang. And you can see there the North Melbourne player, who I think is Anthony Rock.
He showed a bit, this Damien Lang. He's taken a couple of nice marks there, put himself in the right position. He does read the ball very well through the air. He's been quite a handy player today for Carlton in the second half. And he shows a bit of promise. And certainly they need a player of his type to come through and show a bit of form and become one of a senior player, hopefully, in the years to come.
Well, Lang kicks the ball and kicks it a little bit wide, but I think he's just snuck it in for another goal.
Here we got a spectator on the ground.
We've got a wombat on the ground.
Where's your mother? Honestly. Why would you do that? Just endangering other people?
Well, I think North Melbourne have put on a pretty fair display. The blokes that are paid to play the game, and not we don't need these wombats on the ground.
So why would he run on the ground at that stage?
Got no idea.
I think he might have thought he was flooding the forward
I think he
line.
might have a go. He's quite happy with the umpiring.
Well, when the drink's in, the brains are out, as Tommy Hafey used to say, and well, let's hope he gets thrown out of the stadium, and perhaps the pocket is punished as well.
Well, there was a few big security guys plus a couple of policemen got over him. He didn't have much hope. So we'll go back to Brian Sheehan in the middle. North Melbourne with the game well in control. It's tapped down. Taken away by Ronnie Dielio to the half-forward line. Kicked away by Adam Simpson. And the mark taken by Camperelli. Centre wing. Scott Camperelli. That's a better kick. Beaumont. Long way out from goal. Silvani leading. They're trying to kick it in short. Silvani underneath it. The North defenders swoop. There's Stevens to Bell.
Good game, Bell.
Clever kick, yeah. Good player, Bell. Here's Harvey. He's very, very quick, and so is Dielio. But they tap it over the line for a throw-in way out at half-forward at the Carlton end of the ground.
I think Couch the Carlton hierarchy, the Carlton faithful are just starting to realise what Kernahan, Williams, Bradley, who's not playing today, Spalding, Milhana meant to this side. They are just, they're a 15-goal better side with those players in their team.
Oh, they certainly are, Jordan. That's why they won the 95 grand final. They're fantastic. But I still believe they've got the nucleus, Carlton, to be a very good side. And just need a little bit of direction. You know, Koutafidis needs to come forward a bit more.
It's a matter where they can rebuild in time with Sexton, McKay and Ratton still in reasonable form.
I suppose they've had terrible injuries with Ange Christou too. He's so important on the half-back line there. He's been sorely missed.
McKay, another premiership player, drives the ball with his left, goes over the back. Archer couldn't control it. Silvani mops up, kicks is high. Good courage there, Hamill. Ball kicked to the bottom, punch to the bottom of the pack. Shannon Grant comes up with it. King couldn't control it. Good numbers at the ball there from Carlton. Nice handball gets on to Porter. A great smother by North Melbourne. Stevens couldn't control it. Brown gets the bumper bar up. His handball goes straight to Blakey. Blakey straight down the middle of the ground, and he finds Corey McKernahan.
McKernahan, who?
He's a
down
good
towards
player.
half forward, and over the back is Sexton. Sexton looking for an option. He kicks to a contest, and Chandler read it better than Camperelli. Camperelli not too happy. But Brett Chandler, a little goer, kicks it to that half-forward area. Well, the swoopers are at the back. Here's McCartney on the left. He's waiting for the bounce. Look at this. Bell might end up with this. No, hit the pass.
Just say kick of Sexton's though, Pete. You shouldn't go short to a one-on-one contest there. You're better off to go long, hard and high and get the ball up through the midfield there. You know, you're only kicking 30 or 20 yards out. You're better off to kick it longer and go to the boundary lines.
And David Parker not looking too happy in that picture there. There's Adam Simpson onto the left. Kicking it out wide. King waits at the back. Mark, no. Couldn't quite get it on the third. Third attempt now. Ratton has tried very
Good
hard.
game today.
Yeah, fantastic.
Good game. On to Manton. Back it comes to Ronnie Dielio. Chips it back inside and finds Locke. Locke gives it off to Ratton. Good play by Ratton to butter up now. Silvani at the back. Now, they need a racehorse. Grant is the leader. Good play to Blakey. Good defensive football this by North Melbourne as Scholl breaks away and kicks out to a 2-on-1 contest. Kudafiti's got a couple of Eaton Carey with the aid of Stevens. Latches onto it and then does a little dummy. That was clever. Good play by Kleppe, but knocked out. Kleppe, excellent football. Breaks away and brings it up towards centre wing and Fraser Brown. He's looking for someone to run past. Brown brings it in towards Murphy in the centre of the ground. He's off, gone, holding the ball. Surely that is holding the ball. He had ample time to get rid of it. These umpires have got to be more consistent as we see Abraham staging for a free kick and he got, well, he's got the free kick. There wasn't much in it, but he staged for it.
Well, you can't bag him for playing the decision was there.
No, but I'm just saying, he's had time to get rid of it, missed it completely. That is holding the ball under the rule.
Okay.
Well, you can't pay it 1 minute and not pay it the next.
You're right, you're exactly right.
Just ridiculous. Anyway, here's Abraham, way out, 70 metres from goal. He's a great kick in towards the square. Hewitt and Manton. And a goal to Bell. Did he put his foot through? That is the question. But it's a goal to Bell.
Well, the angle of the dangle here looked like he was through, but the umpire was in the far better position, obviously.
He's a great opportunist player, Peter Bell, isn't he? He's always around there and around the packs, especially in the forward line there. Great work again. And bang, goal.
Oh, it was clear.
Looked like he's nearly going to hit the sign. But just back.
Here's a good angle.
Oh.
Umpire.
You've got to say that kick was over the line.
Well, only by a foot and a half, I would have thought, Pete, so it was a close call for the umpire. 7-11 plays 10-14. Ball bounced down. Porter does well again. Gets the ball to Ratton. Couldn't control it. Harvey's in there. Ratton dives on. He's one of the best players on the ground. And a tremendous game by one of these stalwarts for the Blues. A multi-best and fairest winner. Let's have another look at this. Bell takes the ball over the line, and a good foot over the line.
Probably not in the best position, but I think he's talked the umpire into it.
Well, the umpire couldn't have had a better view, could he? Would have had to be on the end of his boot to get a better view.
Trying to back him up.
They normally pay those as goals. I haven't seen that for years where they say his foot was over the line. Have you?
Jeez, no, you're right. But that was there any doubt on that one?
I think so.
Ball bounced once again the centre. Scholl, who's had a fair game in defence. There's nobody in the North Melbourne forward line. Nobody with a North Melbourne jumper on, in fact. Two Carlton defenders chase the ball down.
David King and Damien Locker having a bit of a stash in the middle of the ground. But I'm just saying about Carlton before we're talking about the rebuilding stage. When I was playing against Carlton in 94-95, I felt Justin Madden was the most important player because his centre square work was absolutely sensational. You couldn't pick him, and around the boundary line gave Williams and Fraser Brown great opportunity to get the first use of the ball.
Yeah, forgotten about Harry, but you make a very good point. As Carlton drive the ball out, interception was on, but not quite made. Rice comes up with it. He's going to be tackled from behind, a little bit late. Hume, who's battled on, drives the ball long, over the top of Kudafiti's head. Carey's just having a bit of fun. He's just lurking around the wing, picking up a couple of possessions and showing all his skills. He gets the ball onto Pickett, drives the ball long. At the base of the pack was Winnie Abraham. And the players will just jump on this, and they're all waiting for the siren to sound.
You've got to remember one player too missing. Greg Williams used to feed that ball off time again, like he used to do to Gerard Healy when he won the Brownlow medal.
Yeah, that's right. How many best and fairest you win?
35 receives every week.
Well, why not make it easy for yourself?
Thanks, Gouchy, as the ball is bounced, and Rondulio, he's still pumping away. So's Peter Bell. Darren Hume. Skills aren't great, but his endeavour's fantastic. He's going to be a pretty good player for Carlton over the next decade. At the base of the pack, Hamill got it to Murphy. He's put it out into the wicket area. Franchina kicks the ball, throws the ball out in front. He's being tracked there by Grant. It's now a 2-on-1, and North Melbourne do pretty well. Franchina does well. It's like a ring-a-ding battle. 2 against 1, and well done to Anthony Franchina.
And Shannon Grant. It's good work there.
It was like a great little wrestle straight across the middle of the ground, and both players would have been pumped up by their respective coaches.
Well, at the moment, we can't see where Carlton are going to get a win from the way they're playing. There's Hamill bringing it to half-foot, diving effort by Pickett. And finally, it's Adam Simpson trying to get it out, and it'll be a bounce 40 metres from goal.
Just that last opportunity where Carey got that ball on the wing there, Pete. They actually went wide to the boundary. They had players feeding through the middle of the ground. You're better off to go through the middle and direct to goals. They seem to be feeding the ball out to the boundary line. That's what you don't want. You want to go more direct to goal.
So in front of the Carlton goal, a quick kick comes out towards Brett Chandler. Further afield with the racehorse in David King. Look at this open forward line, but Welsh has 2 to beat. Sexton being one of them, and Sexton chips it wide, and he finds Manton. Quick hand pass was by Murphy. Here's Beaumont. Beats 2 North Melbourne players and drives it in towards the half-forward area. Very crowded half-forward area. Very difficult for forwards in that situation. Shannon Grant back to the centre. Quick hand pass. Finds Murphy. Murphy drives to full forward. Should be a mark. No, it's not. Lang was there, but that strong North Melbourne defence swoops in and forces the ball over the line.
Pretty good defender is Pickett. And Byron Pickett once again came through, and he's come up with an injury, has he?
He's not looking good, Jared.
Oh, let's hope that's not too serious.
Well, he flashed across Damien Lang, and he must have just landed awkwardly. Saved his club a goal.
Overextended.
Let's just hope he hasn't damaged himself too badly.
You just noticed the Carlton forward line, and how are you going to kick a goal when North Melbourne are pushing all their players into the Carlton forward 50 there? Just making it so hard to pick an option there and a clear player to get clear. Lang was there, but there was 4 players in and around him, so it's making it very hard to get space.
And this is how he lands.
Oh, I think he's medial ligament.
Well, I don't think it'd be his medial.
Oh, and what do they call that, Jared?
Well, it could be perhaps posterior cruciate, maybe anterior cruciate, but I'll throw medial in. Throw medial in.
I
don't think it was the medial at all. But we'll check the papers tomorrow, and he'll probably have done his medial.
Yeah, Jared, we'll have a look at it again.
Well, he sort of twists the leg.
On the ankle. It might be an ankle. Could even be an ankle injury.
Good desperate play by Pickett.
As the Blues go forward again, but North, well done by Lang to just get his hand to that. On to McKay, on to Murphy, and he finds Koutafidis, and some ironical cheers there for Anthony Koutafidis, who drives it long with a magnificent looking kick to the square. It's thumped away with a terrific defensive punch to Bell. This is McCartney, and he's kicked it straight down here to Clappe.
Well, there's so many free Carlton players because North Melbourne have got all their players in defence.
Well, if a football starts to go this way, with crowding of the back line like this, North winning the game by umpteen goals, and they've got everyone in defence. As we see Hamill having a snap at goal, I think football is going to deteriorate. And
there may well have to be some rule change. But I reckon Couchy, Dennis Pagan is just experimenting at the moment.
Oh, I think so. I think he's just trying this ploy out by pushing all his players up into Carlton forward line there. And he seems to be quite happy not to attack and score goals in this last
Well, maybe he's just looking for other ways of creating goals. They did it so effectively into the wind.
Yes.
And they've done it quite well with the wind in this quarter. Carlton player down behind play as Lang kicks the ball across ground. Once again, indirect towards goal. Watch Harvey go. Not many players in the AFL will catch this bloke. And cheekily he takes lock on. Kick wasn't great. There's no one in the forward line. And he's gone straight down looking for the boundary line and finds it.
Well, I'll make one comment. If you're leading a game by 7 goals and you haven't got one player between the centre of the ground and the goals, that is ridiculous. And I don't care. You can have all the theories in the world when you're winning by 7 goals, when percentage could come into it. That guy then comes down the ground and no one to kick it to on the foot. Not one player. They were the only players down there were Carlton players.
He's a nice throw out there by Beaumont. It hasn't been pinged. McKernan got it once again to Harvey. Off the ground goes Hewitt, just across the face of goal. Bell once again off the ground. Ball will trickle over the line through the agency of Hume. And Carlton, with another player down, really are struggling. They're 40 points in arrears. North Melbourne are 114. They're 7-13, 115 now to Carlton 10-14, 74. But what they've done, Peter, is maintain possession, get the ball across the line, and then push players down.
Yeah, but on that occasion, they pushed players down. There was no one on the forward line to receive the ball.
Well,
no, you can't tell me that's good forward play. If you did that against a very good side, you might get away with it against Carlton, and they can fiddle around with it that way. But you play a good side, see if it works.
well, I reckon we're going to find out in the next 6 or so weeks, because that's the way that the football is heading. A free kick has resulted from a little bit of undisciplined play by the Blues, and Chandler takes the free kick. He drives the ball on the outer side, just to the half-forward line, where Carlton have a number of free players. A bit of shepherding there. McKay goes off the ground. Doesn't hit it once again. Scott Welsh taps the ball towards the boundary line. The players just going through the motions. They're looking for the siren, and hopefully it won't be too far away.
Let's give the game away too early, Jared.
17-13 to 10-14. Their 5's on at this stage, Couchy, and I'm happy to take any odds.
I'm not going to argue with him.
Quick kick from Rice. Gets it to Scholl. He's playing in front. Over the top came Hamill, who has consistently tried for the Blues, but this time he's given away a free kick. Craig Scholl, another good game for the North Melbourne, as the siren goes to put us all out of our misery, because this game really did degenerate in the final quarter. It was a good tussle for most of the afternoon, but Carlton's lack of goal-kicking ability really has told against them. A workmanlike performance by North Melbourne, who deserved the 4 points, and they went out to win convincingly, 17-13, 115 to 10-14, 74. From Optus Oval, it's goodbye. Thanks for your company.